From the alley-oops at Keyshaw to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way. From off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. We are ready to go. Alex, are you excited for this or what, my guy?
I mean, I'm super excited for it, and we just had a nice little glitch there.
Yeah.
I would like to figure out what the heck is going on with chat because it is, again, screwing with me, and I hate it when it does this. I absolutely hate it. So, Gary, you're going to get a lot of love today because apparently our chat functionality does not want to work because it hates me with a passion. And that's okay. It's okay that it hates me, but it loves Gary. So you're going to get lots of Gary smiley face for the whole live stream. Wonderful. Thank you, Stream Elements and OBS. You are fantastic. You don't ever fail at what I'd like you to be able to do. But hey, it's fine. We got a lot of things to talk about today. We got some nice topics to go over as well.
Yeah, we do. And I see everyone throwing their ages down in there because Gary was saying that he's dealing with a much younger crowd. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I think there's a lot of younger people, but there's a lot of the people that are closer to Gary's age as well. I think there's a nice, group of people that are kind of amongst all the ages that understand everything that's going on in life, so sure. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
He says we could all be his kids and grandkids.
Well, that's that also might be true. That could be accurate. I don't want to put that out there for Gary and put but he might not be wrong, and he may not be wrong at all.
But let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is actually Jason Verrett reaching out to Melvin Ingram on Twitter. And just saying, hey, I'd like your locks would look very good in red and gold. The first thought process thing I went through my head was absolutely yes, do it today, get it done. I would love to see Melvin Ingram rushing off the outside. I know we had talked about him a little bit before, but that is something I'd definitely be interested in. But with Jason Verrett reaching out to him, do you think it's an actual possibility, or is this just Verrett reaching out to a former teammate? And, just saying, yeah, I'd like this, but it doesn't mean anything to it.
Listen, I think there very well could be reality, right? At the end of the day, they play together. They have a history together. They have a connection. You can argue semantics all you want in terms of how deep the connection truly is or, how much legs this has. You can also discuss and be upset about, and I've seen this a lot. As soon as this got posted, you had people jumping all into comments on Facebook and all the different groups that I'm a part of and in group messages and group chats that this isn't going to happen. He's going to want too much money. It's going to cost too much. But here's the thing. The further and further and further Melvin Ingram gets away from free agency and closer to training camp and week 1 of the preseason, the less likely it is that someone is going to pay money, especially if teams are staying healthy. And there has been an unprecedented level of health amongst most teams in the league, with the exception of the 49ers. There have been no significant injuries so far reported by any of these organizations other than San Francisco. So, because of that, he has some leverage, right? He has some leverage in terms of San Francisco. You got this guy D Ford that you're not sure about health-wise. You have these other guys who've gotten hurt. Maybe I'm an option. Maybe I'm the guy that you guys can pay a little bit more money for. Because these other teams, if they stay healthy, no one's going to want to give this man the money that he wants to get. He's coming into his early 30s, which means the peak of his career is upon him, right? This is the time where he's got probably 3, if he stays healthy, and he hasn't stayed healthy, but if he stays healthy, he's got maybe 3 good, great years left of elite playing, which means he wants to cash in one more time. It's going to be really hard to cash in when you've been hurt the last few seasons. So coming to a place like San Francisco, taking a little bit less of that moolah right now on a 1-year deal in which the Niners have some cap space to make that kind of move, it's possible, right? And with Jimmy G most likely being off the books in 2022 and the cap going up $25 million, this also is a place that you could long-term the next 3 years get that nice big fat extension because the Niners will have that kind of money. And we all know how important this defense is to this team.
Yeah, I think there is a pitch to be made here. And I think that a lot of times the 49ers reaching out to players is a signal. We had players reaching out. Moser was reaching out to defensive linemen early on in free agency, and then the 49ers signed Zach Kerr. So there is a lot of times correlation. Last year, famously, Trent Williams was reaching out to Jordan Reed. and saying, hey, man, we want you on the team, and really reaching out to him, and it's a teammate that he felt comfortable with. That is the correlation I'm going to get here. What I will say about it is Ingram would definitely have to take less money. But if he did, it would put him in a prime position where, number one, he doesn't have to play a lot of snaps so he can stay healthy. 2, he can have production because he's playing with one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. And 3, he could purposely go out next year and get another contract because his production would be great. He would have so many circumstances where he's either rushing opposite of Bosa, opposite of Ford, or opposite of Ebicom. And those are great situations for him to be successful, and that is what they're looking for. Now, I don't know if the 49ers, though, are ultimately looking for this type of move. Usually when I see a player reach out, it's usually very strategic, and they know what the team is looking for. The team has somewhat put it out there, or maybe even has showed maybe we're going to be interested in somebody. So I don't know if Verrett did it just, hey, this is just kind of fun. This is my guy. I would love for him to come here, so I'm going to put this out there. Or if this is something that is actually more strategic, and he was putting it out there because he knows the team is actually going to be making a move at that position, and he knows Ingram would be a perfect guy if the money was right. Sure. And maybe Verrett's trying to get a little bit of a friend discount of him, like, hey, I'm on a 1-year deal. It's somewhat cheap. Come here for the same thing, and let's see if we can win a championship together.
That is fair and entirely possible, and right that this is the idea behind it, is because there's that relationship there, and they know each other to an extent. Verrett can kind of put that out there, and Verrett, I mean, if there's anyone out there who can sway this man this direction, it's going to be Jason Verrett, who dealt with the injuries, right? Who has been through this ringer, has come to San Francisco, has found success despite those injuries, and so he's the one who can make this pitch effectively to Melvin Ingram. And for this to maybe sink in and maybe sway him this direction. That doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen. I'm not saying that this is a for sure thing, but we have the best pitch man making the best possible pitch to this guy. And I get it. 49ers fans, some of you don't feel like we don't need to go out and make a big move or add anyone, right? We don't need to do it. Let's save the money, let's save the money, let's save the money. Here's the thing. If you save $10 million, if you save money this year, that money doesn't just roll over into next year and become additional money, right? It's just part of next year's money that you didn't spend this year. Mm-hmm. If you don't spend $4 million this year, and if you don't spend that money, you don't get an additional $4 million next year.
Yeah, you get an adjusted cap.
You do get an adjusted?
You get adjusted cap.
Oh, I didn't realize they adjusted
that. You adjusted cap.
Oh, so then maybe you might.
It does roll over.
Maybe you might not then.
Yeah, that's why you see some of these teams that have these huge cap numbers, because they have an adjusted rate.
So they still get to spend what they didn't spend this last year?
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe they may, you know what, I'll shut my mouth. You're right.
But they're also, those teams are usually teams that are building and not teams that are trying to win a championship this year.
Yeah, they're not teams that are competing for a Super Bowl.
Yes, a team that definitely thinks they can win a Super Bowl because they're keeping Jimmy G and not going with a rookie quarterback right out the gate.
True.
So, because if they thought that they were going to rebuild with a rookie quarterback, they would have gotten rid of Jimmy and saved the money over 2 years, because then the cap savings would have been astronomical. So that's what you're looking at, is that these guys definitely think they can win this year, and that's a signal that they can do it. That's why I keep talking about them bringing in Richard Sherman or Melvin Ingram or Justin Houston. I see that get brought up a lot, is because they still do have rooms to make moves. There's even the rumor coming out that they're going to work out Kayvon Webster as well.
That is true.
Who's a veteran corner in the league. He's played, up until 2019. He's on the Rams. He's on the Broncos. He's 5'11", 190 pounds. Just because they're working him out doesn't mean they're going to sign him, but it does signal that they're still looking at secondary pieces. So they're still looking to improve. And we've brought this up many times, that there is areas to improve on the defense and on the offense. Not a lot, because the depth is really good.
It is.
But you're always looking to improve, no matter where it's at and with who. You just get it done. Get whoever you can get in, so that way you can put the best 53 people on the team and insulate yourself in case of injuries. But the best 53-man team is going to win the championship, not the best team with, the best player. That never works. It's always the best team that wins.
Never, huh? Never, ever?
No. Tom Brady has never won a Super Bowl by himself.
That's accurate. A lot of people forget that.
Well, this isn't the NBA. In the NBA, one or two guys can completely win a championship.
Right, and that's because you have five guys on a roster. You have 10 players on a floor, so one guy can make a drastic difference. Because if your fourth guy is, the team, your opponent's, if he would be your 12th best player on the opponent's team, you're in big trouble if the fourth guy on the floor, your fourth go-to guy, is as good as their 12th guy.
Yeah.
Right? There's an issue there. There's a problem. And so football, 11 on 11, there's so many more ways and so many more guys that are needed to have an impact on the field. Also, length of the field with 11 players on.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. You don't have the same amount of room to operate as you do on a basketball floor. I know basketball floors are shorter in terms of like length and width compared to a football field, but you have less guys. It is spaced out accordingly in basketball, especially at the professional level, so that you have easy opportunities to attack.
Agreed.
Football is not necessarily the same. Not built the same way.
Yeah. There's a couple of things. I did see a question earlier. Would you rather have Ingram or Houston? If you had to choose one, which one would you rather have?
That is tough. I think Ingram translates better to San Francisco right now. But man, it really comes down to cost for me. I mean, that's where I'm at. I think Ingram would be a better fit, but I think Houston can have success here and can do a lot of great things with this D line and this front. So for me, that decision comes strictly down to cost. Which costs less?
Yeah.
Right. And then you have with that cost, you also have to factor in health and production.
Yeah.
Right. Because if I only have to pay $500,000 more for Melvin Ingram, or $500,000 less for Justin Houston, I have to factor in personally, what am I getting for that additional or that little bit less money? What kind of player am I getting? With Houston, though, too, you don't have as much of the injury history and concern.
Yeah.
So his value is a little higher. But if you're looking for potential ceiling, man, Melvin Ingram is one of the best in the league when he's healthy.
If you just want to say Bosa and Ingram again, because that's what you had,
That's
down
what you
south.
had in San Diego.
If you just want to do
glorious.
that, then you go Ingram. To be honest with you, I like both players. I think both players fit the system. So it would really come down to me, if I was a front office guy and the money was similar, I would go to Chris Kaczmarek and I would say, hey, Chris, who do you want to work with? Who do you think, skill set matches what you want to do the best? And then that's who I would go with. But I really would be okay with either one of them because I think they're both dynamic off the edge. So another thing is, and I think Jay Ellie brought it up, is that David DeCastro was cut today by the Steelers.
It's true.
And right away, we had a mutual friend that, sent me the message and said, hey, does he make sense for the 49ers? My first thought was, even though I love the player, I love DeCastro, no, because we just went so in the draft about getting offensive linemen that it wouldn't make sense to add DeCastro now. I could be wrong. Maybe they wanted to go a one-year guy, but I think everyone thinks it's going to be Brunskill or Banks at right guard this year. Sure. And then next year, it could be Jalen Moore and Banks, on the interior. So I think that they're going to go with the young guys. But DeCastro would have been a definite tempting thought, pre-draft.
No, I agree with you there. He would have been 100% a tempting thought pre-draft. It's one of those things, right? Just timing. Timing is kind of the key thing here with the Castro situation when they cut him. And that may have been, for reasons.
Yeah.
They waited, obviously, when they did for reasons, and maybe they didn't want him to end up in certain places. It just doesn't make sense right now, but, I mean, who knows?
Well, we're an injury away from it making sense, maybe.
Very true. Very true. And with the luck the 49ers have had the last few years, it could be just around the corner, but let's hope to God not.
I hope not. I see, did you see any questions before that? By the way, what's up, Eugene? Welcome. I seen David Vilma said, who's our best front four? So which front four defensive lineman do you think is our best?
I think it depends. I think we
in what situation?
I think it depends on situation. 100%. I agree with you.
So
there.
I think we go run stopping and then we go pass rush.
Correct.
So which one do you think? Go run stopping first.
Run stopping for our run stopping position. I would go with Kinlaw, Kerr, Bosa, and Armstead.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with those four.
That's pretty solid. I think if it Kerr or DJ Jones, I'm okay with.
Either one of those, yeah.
Either one of those, I think is solid. And then pass rush wise, I'm thinking Ibaka, D Ford, Bosa, and Armstead.
Good four.
I think those are the guys that I would go with personally.
I mean, I don't see it. There's nothing wrong with it. There ain't nothing wrong with it. I love it.
It's just a lot of speed, so
much speed.
I like speed.
The best of speed.
It kills.
It does. It really does kill. It really, really does kill. Chad, I really wish I could fix this for you, but I really can't, and it's bothering me. So it is what it is.
Yeah, David Campbell said, Edge is a concern for sure. Is anyone else worried about Bosa? He has had a boatload of serious injuries for a young guy. To quote Joe Staley, he is ready to go. Joe Staley said this week he knows Bosa is ready to go. I am not concerned because it's an ACL. If this was an Achilles, I would be more concerned. But because it's an ACL, and this guy has recovered from an ACL before, and this injury also happened early in the season.
Very true.
He had the surgery. He's had a long time to recover. By the time he laces up the cleats to go for his first regular season game, it will almost have been 12 months since the injury. So a year is more than enough time to fully recover from an ACL tear.
100%. And here's the thing, right? With the ACL injury, and specifically for Nick Bosa, what you said is huge. It's extremely important that people get that and understand it. If this was another lower leg injury, if this was a calf injury coming off of an ACL injury, Achilles, anything of that nature, or a foot injury, foot fracture, things of that nature, I would be more concerned because it would mean there's some sort of deeper underlying issue going on with Nick Bosa. Because it's an ACL, for me, it's a fluke. It's a fluke sort of thing. Foot got caught, wrong angle, wrong time, wrong amount of pressure on the lower half of the body, and the wrong amount of torque on the upper portion of his body, which is that's exactly what happened, right? Foot got caught in the ground. He's getting driven a direction. Foot gets stuck. He's going one direction. Upper body's going another direction, and wonderful situation for everybody involved.
Not so much.
No, not at all. And so for Bosa, the fact that it's a fluke injury and one of those things where that doesn't happen on every snap in the NFL. It happens on less than 1% of snaps. A situation just like that, I'm not worried about those. Right? I'm not worried about contact injuries. You can't avoid those things.
Yeah.
Those don't concern me. Non-contact ACL injury would have been scary, right? Like he's planning cutting and the knee goes again for a second. That would have been terrifying. So now I'd be sitting there going, there's some weakness somewhere. There's an issue somewhere.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to get those things fixed if he wants to stay healthy. Contact injury? Okay. It sucks. How can we, try and put him in better situations or teach him how to maybe be safer with his body, I guess. But here's the thing with Nick Bosa. He plays at one speed.
Yeah.
In terms of like when it's time to get out and go. He's only got one setting. I don't want him off that setting. I want him in attack mode. I don't want him second guessing and thinking about things. So
I don't think he will.
No, me neither.
And I see David also asked, what about who's going to pick up Hyder's sacks?
Anyone.
I think it's going to be a combination of people, but I think Ebukam is going to get 9. That will more than take up for that, and I think that everyone else will chime in. I think all these guys.
Armstead's number is going to go up. Kinlaw's number is going to go up. Kerr's going to have one of his good years. DJ Jones is going to have a great season.
Kevin Givens.
Yeah, I mean,
Maurice Hurst.
Every single guy. We can keep going.
Yeah.
Every single guy is going to have an opportunity. Every single guy's going to have an opportunity, right? To bump their numbers up. Ebukam especially. I mean, there are people who are legitimately really upset about the Kerry Hyder leaving situation. And I don't understand.
Not for the amount of money he got.
No, he go take that money. Number one.
Yeah, 100%.
And number two, we were never going to pay that.
No.
Nor should we.
No.
But they were like, we went and got this Ebukam guy and Kerry Hyder, blah, blah, this, Kerry Hyder, blah, 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 that. And I'm like, guys, he's a younger, better, faster Kerry Hyder.
Go back and watch the 49ers versus Rams in 2019. And you know who forced the 3rd and 16 deep pass to Emmanuel Sanders? Ebukam, because he gets around, George Kittle's blocking him on the edge, and he just beats Kittle around the outside and gets the sack on Jimmy.
Correct.
And the funny thing is, Emmanuel Sanders was wide open on that play, by the way. Jimmy just didn't have time to get it. They run the same play, and this time he's wide open, and he catches it. So, yes, the Ebukam is going to be a big improvement. If you haven't seen his explosion, his first step is even better since he started working with Chris Kaepernick, and the whole objective for him is to get to the quarterback, to go really fast. He has gotten so much better with his first step. It is fun to watch. I can't wait for it. I think he's gonna be dynamite.
I agree with you.
Ebukam, as Gary would say.
Ebukam, as Gary would say. Gary, we love you, man. Thank you so much for great content and great sayings. By the way, chat. I almost forgot to mention, we got a cool new feature tonight that you guys can use. By the way, so if you don't want us to miss your comments, you don't want us to miss anything that you're saying, you can super chat. Super chat is now available in the chat icon. There is a little custom emoji button, And there is a little $sign with a little square for super chatting. So if you want to make sure that we don't miss your questions, we don't miss any of that content, especially with the chat feature to my left over here not working, use that super chat action, use that super chat function. It supports the channel. It helps us out a great deal. By no means do you have to, but we would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, if you want to, do it. If you don't, that's fine too.
Absolutely.
But there is a lot of fun things to talk about with the D-line.
Oh, tons.
Always. And that's why I don't mind ever getting into these topics when people bring it up, because it's so much fun. But the D-line also rushes people. And we got a little glimpse of Chris Sims's top 40 list. And let's just say that I could have done that exact job if I was throwing darts at a dartboard blindfolded. Okay? Pretty much could have got him in the similar order to what he got. I don't understand it, to be honest with you.
Oh my goodness. Hey, I am so sorry there, folks. There we go. While I fix that and correct that there. No, I agree with you there. And in fact, Ant,
we got our first super chat.
I love it.
David Vilma, #TCC.
Hey, the cutback crew in full effect. David, big shout out there, my guy. Big shout out.
Yeah, big shout out. David is on everything. We really appreciate him.
Oh no, 100%. Everybody.
We appreciate everyone, but great comments.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it popped
beautiful,
up.
Beautiful
Awesome.
super chat.
And so you were looking at the list. Did anything jump off to you on the list? Like, was something crazy that you just didn't expect? I seen Jimmy was 21.
I mean, that was in and of itself insane. Look, I got it. I got it now. I fixed it. There
it is.
I wanted that up there for chat to be able to see, and I will crop this in for you, chat, so you have a better view of this list. So that way you know exactly what we're working on with this insane list by Mr. Sims. Listen, there were a lot of crazy, right? And Ant, in fact, you had mentioned, you literally said that you could do a better job blindfolded. I'm half contemplating doing a nice, wonderful randomizer on Excel and literally having you pick a number and we see what happens with the list.
It's not a bad idea.
Look, the one that was a little surprising, obviously the Jimmy at 21, right? Cam Newton in front of Jimmy Garoppolo. Cam Newton being in the top 20 of quarterbacks. I was, and Megan can attest. Megan can 100% attest to this. I was on board with Cam Newton last year. I was 100% on board. I was one of the guys who believed that he was going to have a bounce back season. He didn't. He was one of the worst passers in the league.
Yeah.
Yards, completion percentage,
touchdowns,
everything. Literally almost every statistical category. I don't know how you could watch that season as an NFL analyst and a guy who's played quarterback, right? And he's got a family pedigree of it. Like, this guy, how you could put Cam Newton there at 20.
I don't know. And I was a big fan of Cam Newton coming out of college.
Yes.
This is not that guy.
No. That Cam Newton might never, ever be seen in the NFL ever again.
Jimmy Garoppolo played how many games last year and almost had as good of touchdown stats as Cam Newton.
Correct.
Cam Newton had a lot of rushing touchdowns, which is great, but I don't know. This list is crazy. I didn't understand. Also, if you're going to put rookies on there, how exactly are you ranking it? Like, how is Trey Lance behind Kellen Mond?
Kellen Mond's not even going to play for a few years. How is Trey Lance behind Marcus Mariota?
I don't know. But how would you like to be Case Keenum? And you're looking up at people that have never even played your position, and somebody that wasn't even, drafted high in Kellen Mond.
No, the only thing he got on this list semi-correct was Jared Goff there at 31. That's about the only thing on this list that I look at, and I'm like, you know what?
Dude, Trey Lance hasn't thrown a single NFL pass, and I would put him ahead of Jared Goff and Tyrod Taylor and Tua Tagovailoa.
I don't disagree with you there at all, sir. At all.
But I think another thing to take away from this, what one heck of a quarterback battle there between Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock, right?
It's not even close, right? Like, I look at this list and I'm like, Teddy should be higher, right? Daniel Jones.
You think Teddy should be higher?
I think he should be higher.
I don't even care. I mean, to be honest with you,
he should be above Andy Dalton.
I'll tell you right now, it's an insult that Daniel Jones is below Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston. Taysom Hill cannot throw.
No, Taysom Hill shouldn't be anywhere in this list at all.
That's it. Yeah.
Like, he shouldn't. Top 40 quarterbacks, he doesn't belong in this category.
He's not a quarterback.
Listen, there was just a lot of things that shocked me. Kirk Cousins being at 16.
I'm okay with Cousins being at 16.
Not with Jimmy at 21.
I mean,
not with Jimmy at 21. Well, they should listen. Matt, like my feeling is Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo should all be roughly in the same spot.
But Matt Ryan's been an MVP. At least you can put that. He's ahead of those guys.
Yes, I'm fine with him being ahead.
Sam Darnold?
Derek Carr?
Are we still judging Sam Darnold off possible talent? Because he definitely hasn't shown anything.
Carson Wentz? After last season that Carson Wentz had, he doesn't deserve to be in the top 20.
No, I don't get it.
He doesn't deserve. Dak Prescott at 9, I like, but it's one of those things, right? He didn't play last year. So if you're going based off injury, and that's why Jimmy drops.
Yeah.
Jimmy was a guy who previous years was in the top 20.
Yeah. I
think Dak should fall then, right, accordingly, based on this.
I will say this. I don't think Jimmy should be that much higher than he is. I will, however, say a few guys right in front of him should be behind him.
100%.
Because they've never won anything.
That's true.
Cam Newton has at least won something. He just looks like his arm is broken.
His body's just deteriorating.
Yeah, his short arm over the top thing is just, it's strange. I don't get it. Eugene, I do disagree with Jared Goff being better than Jimmy because Jared Goff will lose the big game. He will.
100%.
He will. Can he stay healthy better than Jimmy? Yes.
Accurate.
But since Jared Goff has come out of college, I have said he was going to be an absolute bust. I said it from the beginning.
You have.
I'm still on that. Jared Goff is a real thing. He's going to lose you the football game.
He is.
Jimmy Garoppolo will at least manage the game good enough to keep you in a spot to win.
And he's also won games before with his arm. We have seen him pull off game-winning drives. We've seen him in big games have great performances and play well. Has he had his moments where he does really bad things and questionable things and we're all pulling our hair out as 49ers fans? Yes. But here's the other thing, too, that 49ers fans neglect and don't think about very often when it comes to Jimmy. We're very spoiled in terms of the quarterbacks we've had that have led huge, incredible game-winning drives. I know, it's crazy. It's almost like we don't know what it's like to be pretty much every other team in the freaking league who has a normal quarterback, right?
Yeah.
An average quarterback who can't win them jack diddly squat.
Yeah.
Like, they can't do it. Jimmy has led plenty of fourth-quarter comebacks and drives in San Francisco. Just in San Francisco.
Yes.
He's had plenty. He's had a handful. That Saints game is still one that plays in my mind. Let's not forget about the Cardinals with about a minute 30 left driving down the field, hitting that nice little circle route, right, to one wonderful Jeff Wilson Jr. before he was the tank of monster running back that he was. He's had plenty of drives where he's taken them down the field and made the big throw or made the big read and gotten them in a position to win a football game. Plenty of times.
I mean, he has done it.
Yes.
All the things that people say about him are accurate. He needs a defense. He needs a good team around him. Those are all.
Those are
true.
That's a lot of quarterbacks.
Ryan Tannehill, he's 11th and the best in the league. At this point in his career, Tom Brady needs that. You know, I mean, when you
Matt Stafford has needed that.
Well, and Matt Stafford's got a lot of talent. I get it. Like Kyler Murray is the number 7th best quarterback on this list, talent wise.
Yes.
Probably, but he still hasn't won anything.
Production wise too, it's not there.
Yeah,
not for top 7.
I think it all depends on what you're grading on. I understand some of it, but some of it. I look at Ryan Tannehill, for instance. You're telling me that Trey Lance isn't going to be close to that soon?
Is this him doing Shanahan another favor?
No, he's not, because he is actually like this lukewarm about Trey Lance.
I mean,
he even claimed Trey Lance is not that good of a running quarterback. I mean, he looked pretty good to me.
Kind of his whole shtick.
Well, I mean, he's every bit as good of a runner as like a Ryan Tannehill. Every bit as good as him at running the ball.
Like, right? I feel like he's light Russell Wilson in terms of the mobility.
Yeah.
But right, like that's kind of his thing with more power. So he's like light power Russell Wilson. Right, probably a little more, maybe not as elusive, but as elusive as Russell Wilson, but with the power to bully people.
Now, if Trey Lance doesn't play a single down this year, how much you want to bet he's in the top 20 next year without even playing a single down?
Guaranteed.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Yeah,
but we both know that's not going to happen. Trey Lance is playing football this year. It's just a matter of
how much
and how much.
Yeah,
he's going to be on the field though.
I know I would use him.
Red
zone opportunities.
Oh, wait, chat. Can we get some Fs in the chat for Case Keenum? I didn't get to say that earlier. Put some Fs in the chat for Case Keenum. Poor Case Keenum. From Minneapolis Miracle
Yeah.
to 40th best quarterback in the league behind a bunch of rookies who've never taken a snap. Can I also just point out that he has Trevor Lawrence down there really low at 28?
No, I think that's pretty fair.
You think it's fair? You think Trevor Lawrence right now is worse than Taysom Hill?
I don't know. I haven't seen him play yet in the
Fair,
NFL.
Fair, but we've seen Taysom Hill play in the NFL.
Yeah, and it's not good.
I know. I don't understand his story more.
I'm just saying, if you are going to take that stance, and I think he is, where he ranked him as the highest ranked rookie quarterback, and so he thinks he's putting him up there.
Technically second, right? He's behind Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah. Well, Zach Wilson was his number one guy. I forgot.
Sure.
So he put those guys as 1 and 2, which
Smart. Fair.
I don't honestly think they should have the rookie quarterbacks on here. I think he should have ranked.
Play it down.
Yeah,
play it down.
I think he ranked first. One. If we're projecting, if we're saying these are who the top quarterbacks are going to be, then that's different. But I don't think if you're saying this is the top quarterbacks who they are, no, not yet.
Not yet. I don't know how to feel about Tom Brady at 10, but it's one of those things, right, where with Tom Brady, it's really hard to separate young Tom throwing for 4,000 yards and shredding defenses to what Tom is now.
Yeah.
In which he's a little bit more of a manager. He can take shots, and he will take shots at time. And he still plays great, but, when I look at Tom Brady now, Tom Brady is forever ruined for me now. Because now, every time I see Tom Brady's face, the only thing I can think is that GIF.
And by the way, what's up, Luke? Keep tattooing. We'll catch you up. I'll catch you later, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's doing his job. You know what? There was some good points. Eugene brought up also that the list, he had Trey Lance below Kellen Mond, so he pretty much just kept his quarterback rankings for the draft, kind of kept it similar to what his rookies are right now. Fair. Now, the one thing I will say though is he has made the statement that Kellen Mond and
holy shnikes there, Jay Ellie.
Well, thank you, Jay Ellie. Time.
That's big time. Just want to help my boys out.
Yeah.
You, sir, are a good dude. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we do appreciate Jay Ellie's and everything, and always good comments and great stuff. Absolutely. Always. He did say that those guys are better than Tua Tagovailoa, that if they were coming out together, that he would have had Tua rank below them. So, what does that say?
Consistency?
Well, I mean, he at least when he's building the list, he is saying that. He's
true.
Now, he did say Joe Burrow, if he was coming out, would be behind Zach Wilson.
Okay.
So there is a little bit of interesting stuff there, but to me, the list was kind of all over the place.
Well, I mean, it really is all over the place because Joe Burrow at 17, again, another guy who was having a good year, but the Bengals weren't winning, right? And then he goes down with an ACL.
Yeah.
So him at 17 there? What's the criteria?
I mean, he did show out when he played.
I agree. They also didn't win a lot of games. Now, granted, that was the kicker's fault.
That's not his fault either.
I was going to say, it was the kicker's fault a lot of the times in their defense. So, look, I can get it. I understand 17 there for Joe Burrow, but then you have the guy right behind him who didn't have anywhere near the season that Joe Burrow had in the amount of time. Again, if we're basing... Is this based off of last year's performance? Is this a conglomeration of their careers?
I think it's just whatever Chris Sims felt like doing.
Or maybe he did throw a dart at a board, Ant.
I don't know. We might have to actually try this, video it, and see what we come up with.
Or, I could just do it right now. Just put an algorithm into Excel, and then you can just pick a number, and we'll put a name up.
I don't think so.
No, we'll wait. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll plan it out a little
bit.
We'll
plan it out. I want to actually plan this out because I want to be blindfolded when we throw these darts.
Oh, man, this sounds fun, actually. And dangerous. Don't try that at home, kids.
Ernest, I think the 49ers will let Jimmy play, let Jimmy ball out, and then trade him for a first-round pick.
Listen, I think that's both of us in this room want that. More than anything else in the entire world, we want that right there. I want Jimmy to have a great year. I want this team to have success, right? I want a Super Bowl. I want a Jimmy MVP. I want all of those things because all of those things mean the team's great, right? It means we can get the most that we possibly can for Jimmy. It's going to absolutely suck for me personally as a 49ers fan to watch this happen to another 49ers quarterback, but I'll know that he'll be going off to a team that wants him that's going to pay a lot for him. The Niners are going to get a lot in return. He's going to go to a good situation.
Yeah.
If we trade him, we're trading him to a good situation. We're not going to be trading him to some Garbo team. We're going to be trading him to a team, right, that wants great things for him, that needs great things for him, and thinks he can put them over the top. And so they're going to give that up to get him here. And shout out to Luke as well.
Yeah, thank you, Luke. Appreciate it.
Hey, we will keep it up. We will keep it up 100%. Don't worry about it.
I like what you're saying. And I think that, we need to really look at this. I think the perfect situation for 49ers and 49ers fans in general is that we get two quarterbacks that play well when they're on the field this year. That Jimmy Garoppolo plays really well, and that when Trey Lance comes in, because me and you are in the agreement that we think he's going to play in certain situations, correct, and that it would be smart for them to kind of introduce him the way Harbaugh did with Kaepernick,
absolutely,
is he plays well as well. If both of them do really good, and you can use both of their skill sets to help this team win, that is a big win for the 49ers this season, and then a big win during the offseason when they're able to move on from Jimmy, save the money, recruit some draft capital. I think that's what everyone should be wanting. I know a lot of people want to cut Jimmy now and cut bait. What happens, though, if we do that? We get into the season, and like we brought up with Nitty Gritty, and then all of a sudden Trey Lance goes down, and then you're stuck, with Tweedledee or Tweedledum that come in to play quarterback because they are not ready to lead you to the playoffs. Sure. Where at least with Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo, you have two guys that can lead you to the championship, possibly, or at least to the playoffs. And I'm sorry that I called them Tweedledee and Tweedledum, but if you've seen their pictures that they took, it was not very.
Oh my God! Hey,
awesome.
Wait till you see the thumbnail, folks. Wait till you see the thumbnail for our QB breakdown room. I saw the thumbnail today and I was in the middle of a call. I saw that thumbnail and I almost bust out laughing in the middle of the call, which would have been bad because someone would have been like, "What's so funny, Alex?" And I've been like, "Things and stuff. Don't worry about it. You'll see when the video releases." Look, Jag asked too. He said, "Hello, how are you guys doing today? We're doing great, man." And he thinks Sims is just mad because his boy Shanny made him look bad. Maybe.
It could be. I mean, it could be strategic. You could have been right. I know I kind of poo-pooed it, but he could have been, hey, let's put Jimmy up here and let's put Trey all the way back here. Not put high expectations on Jimmy Garoppolo so he can fly under the radar, and not put any pressure on Kyle Shanahan to make a move and decide what to do with those, with those two guys. We got super chats galore. Thank you, Eugene. Big time. Appreciate Eugene. Always helps us out. We appreciate it. Big supporter, especially on the Twitter.
Man, shout out to Eugene for always pumping out our content and pushing out our content on Twitter. Megan, sweetie, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Megan. Appreciate it. Always nice to hear from Colts fans. Just kidding.
Why you gotta do her like that?
Just kidding.
Why you gotta do
because she already knows me. That's
very
why.
True. It's very true. I didn't approve that, sweetie.
Yeah, this is Ant, and I approve that message.
I approve the message. I totally approve it. Listen, Gary is not wrong, chat. Gary's not wrong at all. You need to hit that like button. Smash that like button right now. Antonio, good point. Would also suck to have $25 million on the bench.
It would.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. If you get to the end of training camp and you know that Trey Lance is the guy, it would make sense to go ahead and cut Jimmy Garoppolo and save the money so that way you have that money and to free up for next year. That is 100% accurate. Do I think they'll do it? No, because I think they know in the back of their mind they would rather have that $25 million quarterback sitting there ready to come in case something happens to Trey.
Yeah.
Because last year is a nightmare for Kyle Shanahan where he looks in the quarterback room and he's like, Mullins, Beathard, Mullins, Beathard, Mullins, Beathard. And then all of a sudden it's Beathard, Rosen? No, not what we're looking for.
Bueller.
And then you're like, well, I'm just going to get Josh Johnson off the practice squad. Nope, he's hurt too. Actually, I think he got the COVID. I think that's what happened. So I don't know. I think he looks in that room and it's a nightmarish room. So he's over. They always want Kyle Shanahan to react. Well, here's your reaction. He gave you the reaction. He's reacting and he's making sure the quarterback position is not the reason that they lose and don't make the playoffs.
Oh, 100%. And they shouldn't be. There's absolutely no reason for it whatsoever. Man, I'll tell you right now. I just don't see any way that happens where Jimmy.
I didn't send those emojis.
I sent them. Don't worry. I don't see any way, right? Any way at all whatsoever that Jimmy isn't the guy to start the year off. I could see a situation, right, where you're giving Trey reps. He's showing out in practice. He's performing when he's on the field. He's making big plays. And maybe Jimmy has a game where he's struggling early. And Kyle's like, you know what? we can't afford to lose this one, and he makes a switch, and Trey has his moment in the season. I could see that happening. If Jimmy isn't the starting quarterback this year, it won't be because of injury. It'll be because of that situation right there. Because he has a slight moment of weakness,
and he gets outplayed.
And Trey takes it. Trey takes the reins, right, and takes over. I mean, if it's going to work out, that's just the way it's going to have to be this year.
Yeah, I mean, and they are going to be very calculated on putting Trey out there for that takeover because they don't want an 88 49er situation where Steve Young goes out there and they're saying Joe Montana's hurt, and then Steve doesn't play well.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, you got to go back to Joe because you don't want to hurt the young guy. You don't want to get him down on himself. You want him to keep building up. So I think they're going to be cautious with it. I think when they make the change, it's going to be 100%, all go. So,
I agree with you there.
And shout out to Ernest. Thanks for jumping over from, since Chapman. We really appreciate it. Glad to have you on. Glad to have you commenting. It's great to have 49er fans over here, and especially ones that make good comments and ask good questions. I always love it.
No, 100%. Everyone who's found us, whether it's Chapman, right, whether it's Nitty Gritty Niners, whether it's our discussion with Tyler Menting or Jay in the Bay. We were doing these crossovers because we want to expand this audience. We want to expose ourselves to new people and new 49ers fans
and opinions.
And we love all of it. The smoke, we enjoy the smoke when there's smoke. There's not usually a lot of smoke in here. We had a lot of fans in here who agree with our stuff, and a lot of them who maybe agree with some of what we say, but they have their own little spin on things. We've had some great conversations with Luke Luna in the past. We've had wonderful conversations with David.
Yeah.
Dan Stevenson, who hasn't been around for a while, but I know he's been watching the videos. I see him every once in a while commenting, has had a bunch of wonderful comments and things that have actually led to us making content on this channel.
Yeah, lots of great stuff has come through. I think that it's always nice. I mean, I read all the comments. I really do. I go on there and read everything that everyone says. So if you want your voice heard, I mean, leave a comment, and I guarantee you we read it. We'll respond, and we'll have a conversation with you. I seen Antonio asking a interesting thing. He says, if Lance steps up, does Jimmy take less money? I think the competitor in Jimmy won't allow himself to not be a starting quarterback. So I don't think he would. But I think that would be an awesome situation for the 49ers if Trey Lance did step up and you could say, hey, Jimmy, can we restructure you and put some of the money over next year and just keep you for 2 years? I think they would like that, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Jimmy ain't going to want it. Jimmy will want to be traded next year or even released so he can go pick his spot.
Listen, the Niners are going to have to, if Trey ends up being the guy, the Niners are going to have to make a move on Jimmy Garoppolo. And in all honesty, if Trey's the guy this year, it would make sense to deal Jimmy this year. It wouldn't make sense to hold on to him. It would make sense to get that cap number off the books right now, save it for next year as well, because you would save even more. You'd save money this year and money next year in the future as well. And so you open up opportunities to make more moves. But here's the thing: if you're going to do that, if that's the route you're going to go, you better find a better backup option. Because if we have to go into the season with Nate Sudfeld or Josh freaking Rosen as our backup quarterbacks, I am going to cry because we are an injury away from 2020 all over again.
Yeah, that would stink. Definitely. I don't want to have that situation happen at all. I see Eugene asking, who do we think Kyle Shanahan wants to be the quarterback? If I can be perfectly honest with you, I think Kyle Shanahan wants the quarterback to be whoever wins the job and is able to take his team the farthest.
Jimmy.
I don't think he wants Jimmy to win.
I think he wants Jimmy to win it.
No, I think he thinks Jimmy will win. I don't think he wants him to win.
I think he wants him to win it, and here's why.
Okay, I want to hear this because I'm going to counter this argument.
I know you're going to counter it. This will be great. See, we look at a wonderful, lively debate here on the 49ers Cutback. Hit that like button if you haven't already. let Gary know that you like the video.
This is about to be fun.
The reason why he wants him to win the job, Ant, is because he wants a fire lit under Trey Lance as well. There's already a fire lit under him. There's a lot of people doubting him. There's a lot of those types of things, right? But if Trey Lance comes in and wins this job day one, Trey Lance may feel like he's ahead of the curve and ahead of where he's supposed to be in his development very early on in his career. If Trey Lance comes in and doesn't win the job, has to sit behind Jimmy and wait his turn, he's going to hear a lot of the things that are being said. And a lot of those things are already starting to get floated out there by talking heads who need things to actually talk about.
No way. You mean there's a big break and they got to find things to talk about?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So they're going to manufacture
it's
stuff.
It's nuts because they have no other way to create content.
It couldn't have been that last week on the live stream I said that they were going to start a quarterback controversy.
And within what? an hour, 45 minutes, 30 minutes after the live stream. He was like, Grant Cohen said there. He tuned in. He tuned in to watch. He's one of the guys who watches. We just know this. He watches it and was like, you know what? They're right. I do need to start a quarterback controversy. I've been giving nothing but praise to Trey Lance. You know what I'm going to come out and say? I'm going to come out and say he has some mechanics issues. Oh, really? You mean he's been spending all this time working on mechanics, literally since he left college? Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? It's not like you guys could have tuned into the 49ers cutback back before the draft and people were talking about Trey Lance, and my whole thing being the whole reason I don't think it's Trey Lance coming into 3 is because I feel like he's got some mechanical issues that he has to work out, and that you can get him at 10.
Yeah.
Or maybe even at our original pick 15 or pick 12 spot. We could have that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Right? They did their due diligence. They fell in love with the guy. They move up to make sure they get him, that there's no questions about it. Okay, it is what it is. I'm just glad it wasn't McCorkle. But he does have things that he has to work on. So for Shanahan, if he's having to sit and wait and fester and stew and boil a little bit, not only does he get to learn from Jimmy, not only does he get to put film down of Jimmy, but for Kyle Shanahan, there's one thing that we know about Kyle Shanahan, and one that we are 100% certain of. He's secretive.
He is.
And what better way than to sit on a weapon for an entire year and put as little film down as humanly possible, have a lot of success, maybe even a Super Bowl, then trade that asset away and come into the next season with nobody having a freaking clue how you can use him, in what unique ways you're going to put him on the field and put it down on tape, and give every team even less time to prepare for him in now his second year in the league.
I do like your argument. Because I like, especially the last part where you're talking about being secretive as an offensive play caller.
That was the crux of it.
Yeah, as an offensive play caller, I always wanted the other team to not have an idea of a wrinkle or something I was going to run. I saved something for every team I was going to play, and if I didn't have to use it, I would save it. I would use it another time. But what I will say is, also being an offensive coordinator, when I have a shiny toy,
you want to use the toy.
If it's ready, yes.
Absolutely.
And the thing is you drafted this guy, you know what his capabilities are. If he wins the job, that means he understands the offense enough to run it. That means he can run this offense to the level Jimmy Garoppolo already did in 2019, or more than likely better, which means that gives you a better opportunity to win a championship. And one thing I know about Kyle Shanahan, more than what you just said, is he wants to win because he wants to be validated, and he wants everyone to realize that he can do it. He's getting a lot of questions right now. You know what a Super Bowl would do, especially by a rookie quarterback named Trey Lance? Shut everyone up. So that's what we want. We need him to do that. Thank you, KJ, for the subscription. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
But if Trey comes in there and he has a grip on this offense and he can run it, he understands the protections and he can make the reads, he can read coverages, and he can check out of plays, he's going to outplay Jimmy Garoppolo because his skill set is too high.
I agree with you there.
I think the thing is I don't believe that is going to happen. I think Kyle Shanahan would love that to happen.
I think he would love to happen too. So here's the next thing for me then for you, Ant, is if it's close, if he can do it almost as good as Jimmy, does he win the job? Or does it have to be dead set he has to be better than Jimmy or as good as Jimmy?
I think if it's really close, I think that you have to have a comfort with how he's going to play.
Okay.
So what you might do is if it's really close, you might start Jimmy a couple of games and give Trey some drives. Hey, Trey, go out there and run some drives. And if once he gets kind of the rhythm and how it's going, if he's making the right reads, maybe you go ahead and you make the change. If they're the same level, it's Trey. If they're the same level as Trey, especially if it's he understands the offense. I think that's really what it comes down to, is just the understanding of the offense. I know they installed the offense. It doesn't mean he understands the whole offense. We went into this already. Yes. But
if you missed that, you can go back to previous live streams.
Yeah, we've went into this already. But I think that I do think Kyle would love for Trey to take over, and I think that actually John Lynch and them would like it too. That will be a big question. If Trey wins this job in preseason, the money guys are going to want to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo.
I mean, and they should want to get rid of
And that is going to be the question. I think I know Kyle Shanahan enough. I'm going to say I think I know because I don't want to be like everyone else where they act like they know.
I'm not going to lie. That's probably a smart bet.
I think that he will still say, let's keep Jimmy just in case.
I would want to keep Jimmy just in case, because, I mean, a couple people asked it earlier, and I want to go back.
I know we had some questions, yeah.
Jag had asked, are you guys more confident with Sudfeld and or Rosen as the backups if they trade Jimmy? 100% no. No, not at all. And we'll go into a little more depth with that when we talk about the QB room discussion video that's coming out later next week. And so...
Not great film.
It's not. And here's the thing. I tried really, really hard when I was looking at film. There's really nothing of Sudfeld out there that we could use because we want to use all 22 film because it gives better angles. You can see a lot more of the field, maybe what they're reading. But Rosen, there's plenty of film, and there's plenty of throws.
Yeah.
I wanted to try and find games with multiple good throws and multiple bad throws. They don't exist. It's either one good throw and a lot of bad, or no good throws and a lot of bad. And not into the terms of like he can't throw the football, like he physically can't do it. I'm talking like reads. He'll have a drive where he puts the ball in space really hard, and it's a decent read, maybe not the best decision, but he's got the arm power and the cannon to get it there. And then 2 quarters later, throws it into quadruple coverage, and you're like,
right, that's the thing with Rosen. If you're talking about talent, he's 100% got the arm talent.
Yes.
It's always been upstairs. Can he handle it? Can he make the reads? Is he not going to try to force footballs? No, he's going to do that. Will he be successful in Kyle Shanahan's offense? I don't know. That's going to be the real question. If he can't succeed in Kyle Shanahan's offense, he can't succeed in the NFL. This is his best last opportunity to get it done. Sudfeld has, familiarity with the system. He's going to be able to come in and operate the offense. To what level, I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm down with running 2 quarterbacks this year. I'm down with let's run 2 and let's keep, somebody else on the practice squad because none of these guys jump dynamic quarterback to me. Sudfeld, I don't know how much an improvement he is over Beathard, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's a great point. And in all honesty, it's not probably a big upgrade. Here's the thing. The bad news is with both of these guys is you have a downgrade in terms of games played. Right? Yeah. Nick Mullins has more games played and starting as a quarterback or at least close to the same as Josh Rosen does. Beathard has more starts under his belt than Sudfeld does. Sudfeld doesn't have a lot of game experience. There are things that I think Sudfeld does well. The problem is that he does a lot of things really, really poorly and hasn't made consistently an NFL roster in this league. This is now his 3rd team. So, yeah. This is a guy who's been around the block and has a lot of success. Now, granted, this is San Francisco. This is a pretty good opportunity and room for quarterbacks. So, being in this situation, right, I would make the argument that both of them weren't in great scenarios before this. Miami for Rosen and Arizona at the time that he was there weren't great places.
Yeah, and Tampa Bay, though.
And
he couldn't beat out Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, that's not
And
good.
Think about it, Bruce Arians' offense. A strong arm, down the field thrower.
Take shots, be aggressive.
And Rosen couldn't beat out another former first-round pick in Blaine Gabbert, who we saw play in person, and it's not great. It's really not. So that's the thing. Is he better even than Blaine Gabbert? I don't think he is. That's why it absolutely blew my mind when people were saying Rosen was going to be QB1. And I was like, what? I don't think so.
No, I mean, anyone making the Josh Rosen should be QB1 or can be QB1 or can develop into QB1 is either just listening to Thanos 24/7, 365 and has never watched a game film of Josh Rosen at all, or maybe even not even a quarter of Josh Rosen game film.
Yeah.
If all you do is go online and watch Josh Rosen highlights,
then you're gonna look good.
Yeah, you're gonna have a warped perception of what Josh Rosen is and what he can do with the football. A player isn't defined by their best plays and their best moments. They're defined, sometimes unfairly so, by some of their worst decisions. Right? Mark Sanchez is not revered and remembered by most fans as the guy who was a great game manager and did a really good job with a really good defense in New York Jets. He's remembered as the butt fumble.
Yeah, it's true.
There were some good years for Mark Sanchez where he played decent football, good enough football for that team to be dang near close to a Super Bowl. Right? No one's going to remember that. They're going to remember butt fumble Mark Sanchez. And you know what? To an extent, you should. Because, towards the end of his career, it started showing more and more the poor decision-making and ball security, and just it seemed like he was unprepared at times for certain things. Josh Rosen has been that, except without the career-defining butt fumble moment.
I laughed because Brad Jones said, "You mean Eisenberg's Luther?"
No. We mean Thanos.
He's back with the Eisenberg Luther. I actually think that's a funny thing. I think we can refer to him in both ways. I love it.
Luther and Thanos.
Brad did ask a question earlier. Did you remember what it was?
Let me see if I can't scroll.
I thought I seen him ask a question, and I was going to go ahead and answer.
Oh yes, better odds for comeback player of the year, Bosa or Kittle? Good question.
I would say Bosa, because I think Bosa is going to come out and be gangbusters this year. And as long as he has a competent pass rusher on the other side, he's going to have a dynamic season. But I do think he's going to get a lot of double and triple teams more than any other time. He's going to get chipped. So he's going to get a lot of attention. But I don't know how many people are going to consider Kittle just coming back. I think he's on everyone's radar already, kind of.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Bosa has the better odds, and that's because Kittle played last year, right? And so, especially if the Niners do go run heavy, Kittle's going to have less opportunities to make catches and less opportunities to put up big, gaudy numbers. Bosa's going to have plenty of opportunity to put up big, gaudy numbers, especially with how talented this D-line group is. No, man, I anyone who's anti-cone is all right with me. We don't speak his name around here, so Thanos or Luther, either one of those. David,
who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named.
Order
in here. Order. We won't talk about it. Bosa wins Defensive Player of the Year and Comeback Player of the Year.
I like it. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all.
I'll take it every day of the week.
Yeah.
Jag said, I know this might be crazy, but could Kaepernick be a better than Sudfeld or Rosen?
Yeah.
Could be.
No, Kaepernick is better.
Right now, yes.
100%. The problem is you have to deal with the off-the-field distractions. That's
everything else that comes with
That's the only problem because number one, he's not going to be good, and he's not going to want to be a backup quarterback, number one.
Correct.
Number two is no matter who's in front of him, and especially if it's Jimmy Garoppolo, there's going to be a push for him to start.
Or play.
And every time that somebody has a bad game, and we don't want that on Trey Lance either, where every time there's a bad throw or a bad play, there's a section of the fan base or the crowd that's pushing for Colin Kaepernick. That is one thing that's hurt Colin Kaepernick, is the polarizing nature of who he is has hurt him. It's the same thing that happened to Tebow.
It's the same thing, except it's just different in terms of implication. Right. Tebow's was his faith, and Kaepernick's has been his positions and the things that he said and the things that he's tried to stand for. And so, in that sense, in that regard, it's just, like you said, it's a distraction. Yeah. It takes away from the play on the field. It takes away from the development of Trey Lance. It's going to take away from, building faith and camaraderie and chemistry with Jimmy. It just takes away from those things. Yeah. There are better veteran options out there who would be an upgrade over those two that don't bring that same kind of attention and tension into the quarterback room, because there will be tension, and not in the sense of I don't like Colin or Colin not liking them, but tension in the sense of you're going to immediately have a portion of the fan base that is going to call for this, or just fans in general, that are going to call for this man to play, even if the other person is playing great. It's a similar kind of thing that we saw with Alex Smith before Kaepernick. Yeah. Not the Alex Smith Kaepernick days. Pre-Kaepernick, when you had the Derek Carrs of the world on behind Alex Smith. David Carr, excuse me. Yeah. Playing behind Smith when Smith wasn't playing well, and that offense was just atrociously bad. Calling for a guy to go out there who had no business being out on a football field. Still to this day, one of the more shameful things I'd ever witnessed. Yeah. The calling for David freaking Carr, career sack leader in a single season at that time, to go in over Smith because Smith had less than a second to drop back and throw the football. I still have nightmares about that moment. Yeah, to quote Vince McMahon, bringing Kaepernick in would be the equivalent of him bringing the NWO to the WWE and injecting poison. That would be what it was. He would be injecting poison into your team, into your roster, only because of the attention that it would get. Right now, we want to pull tension away from the quarterback room so those two can settle in and have a good season. There's already going to be so much spotlight on them. Well, and there's already a lot of tension in there now between the two of them. And I think Eugene said it right. Kaepernick hasn't played forever. It's just he hasn't. Yeah. And also that Eugene as well. Kyle Shanahan simply doesn't want Kaepernick and JLE. We got you. No more Cap talk. We're good. We're good, Jay. Yeah, we're off of that. I love how Gary calls him Cohen. Cohen is irritating. I love it, Gary. Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes. It can be. Also negative. Correct, Megan. We try and, I don't know if you guys have noticed this or not, chat, but we try and steer away from that. Yeah. Positivity. Sometimes. Oh, we have our moments. Well, I think we like to be logical.
but also not take a over-the-top negative angle or stance on things.
Try not to.
No. I mean, sometimes negativity is there. I mean, we saw it during the season. I mean, there was just sometimes the rhythm of the offense and stuff was just so off that we had fun with it. We ended up having fun with it because there's just really nothing you can do. But to actually say exactly what happens, it comes off negative.
Yeah.
You just can't spin everything.
No, you can't. And we try. Try. You try to spin the positivity as much as you possibly can, but at the end of the day, when you got Nick Mullins throwing at opponents and secondaries and throwing it to the defense, it's really, really hard.
What did Megan ask earlier? She said, "What do you think of my question earlier?"
What do you think about my question from earlier? I'll try and find that out right now. But Caleb has a question right up there. Ant.
Important question: where's the best place to get wrestling T-shirts? I'm planning on going to Raw in August, but I got to get up my shirt game. I buy from WWE Shop when I buy mine. And usually what I do is I catch the $5 or $10 deals and I just freaking load up. If you don't know, my T-shirt collection is like, 60 plus at this point, Alex?
Something
I have like 60 or something wrestling shirts.
Something
that would be the
like
best.
that.
There is, I think, Pro Wrestling Tees as well has a lot of good stuff that you can go get. And that's where you can find like all the, especially the ones that aren't in the WWE, you can find their stuff as well. So,
we try.
Yeah.
We try. Megan, was this the scene that you were talking about? I don't know why you'd want the scene. Unfortunately, chat doesn't work, so I mean, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
But if this is what you want, I mean, I guess this is good. Does RG3 make sense at all?
No.
He could.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not? I want to hear this. Why?
I just don't think so because you're going to have to pay him, $1.5 million. You're going to have to give him, a guarantee of some sort.
Okay.
So you already have Rosen, who's at least a young guy with potential upside.
Okay.
And you have Sudfeld, who understands or similar to the system. Plus, I don't know what the dynamic is with RG3 and Kyle Shanahan after Washington days.
They said that they've buried the hatchet.
Yeah, but you still. I mean, did they bury it in someone's back, or how did this happen?
Also, we all know how Kyle Shanahan is with his doghouse.
Yeah.
And his doghouse is not very easy to get out of.
It's not.
For me, this only makes sense in one condition. And that's if Jimmy Garoppolo is traded or gone. Because now you could bring in a guy behind him who has a better understanding of the system.
But did you see him come in for Lamar at any of these games?
Trace McSorley looked better.
He did. I mean, that's the thing is he's not really a viable option as far as getting it done anymore.
Wait, can we go get Trace McSorley?
I don't know. Is he available?
I heard he throws it on a dime.
Yeah. Y'all ain't even
trying. He's not even trying.
Yeah.
He's a kid from Briarsworth, too. He used to wear number 9. Now he wears like 8 or something like that.
We have Robbie Gold. He couldn't wear 9 here.
Yeah, he couldn't wear. I mean, I would say he could wear 8, but he can't wear 8. 16 and 8 are off limits. And there are Niners fans who are saying maybe we should make those numbers, like bring those, like let those no.
Yeah.
No one should ever be able to wear those numbers ever again. Ever.
I like it.
I mean, look, I used to when I was a younger fella, I would get very passionate about this, and I would even go so far as to make a crazy claim that Steve Young was actually better than Joe Montana. I'm not that kid anymore, but those days did exist, folks. That I used to actually parade around and make that exact comment. Dead.
Really?
Dead ace, sir. Dead ace.
Yeah.
A lot though. A lot. Tommy, what is going on, sir? It's Cohen, not Cohen. Sorry, I was late. I was shooting a video on his 8K camera. Tommy, can we borrow that 8K camera?
Yeah.
I'd like to use that 8K camera. That's the one that makes it look like it's a video game, right?
Nice.
Yeah. I wanna use that. And use that up in here for close-ups, make our faces look better. Help us out. I'd love to see that. Tommy, you had brought up Super Chat before, Tommy. I don't know if you noticed this, buddy, but that Super Chat option is available now.
It is.
So shout out to you because you're the one who spoiled it for everybody in the last live stream. And you know what? I had to make sure I got it up just specifically for you and obviously the rest of the Cutback crew. And shout out again to everyone who's donated tonight already. You guys are fan-freaking-tastic. Cannot thank you enough.
Yeah, and I think we still have some other stuff. Like, did you see, I don't know if you saw this or not.
Oh boy.
The new helmet rules are changing.
Oh my, I did not see the new helmet rules.
So now you're allowed to have an alternate helmet. So remember, you're only allowed to have one helmet for the NFL. One color, one design.
Yes.
Now, starting in 2022, you're allowed to do different. So Tampa Bay can wear their creamsicle uniforms. Denver can go old school with the old school helmet. Okay. So there's a lot of options. Now, there's already a push that the 49ers should not do a second helmet. Oh, Alex, should they do a second helmet?
100%.
Okay, and which uniform are they wearing it with?
Dude, with the all blacks.
All black.
Throw with those all black unis. Throw in a matte black
with the red emblem.
Oh, dude. Oh, with the gold. That'll be pretty sweet. They might have to remodel the blacks, the all black unis,
and put some gold around the outline.
Put some gold on the outline because I'm really I don't like the rest of the look. But dude, a matte black freaking helmet.
Well, I think the question was always the helmet. So if you change it to black, but just with the red and with like a Darth Vader style look, so black with just the red emblem and then all black and red jersey, I would actually be behind that look.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the white so much.
Dude, the whites are the cleanest things that we have.
Yeah,
they're the cleanest uniform. They're the cleanest uniforms in the league.
Yeah,
and I'm a jersey like junkie. I there was back in especially my younger days, when I used to spend money willy-nilly without any care in the world because I had no responsibilities.
Yeah.
I would buy all sorts of different uniforms of players that I liked around the league, whether it was basketball, football, baseball, whatever it was. There is nothing cleaner than our whites, our throwback whites. Our throwback whites are the nicest uniforms.
Dude, on Madden, I always went throwback. The 94 throwbacks always, white cleats with the spats. I always wanted to look, crazy cool. So I would be in on the blacks, or I'd be in on just the way it is now with the gold with the white helmets. Because with the
white,
I don't think they would do a white helmet.
Eugene just said we need a white helmet with those white throwbacks. That's a lot of white.
I don't know how that would look. I did see the white tiger look for the Bengals.
Oh, that sounds sick.
Dude, I'm all in on that.
I'll get a Joe Burrow jersey.
The white tiger helmets, I'm all in for that. So there are some cool things, and somebody brought it up. Who was it? Because I don't want David Monty. It is all about the money, 100%. But it never made sense, right? Oregon can have like 12 different uniforms in one season. The NFL, with all their money, couldn't have more than one. One helmet.
It's the no fun league.
Well, I think they're about to become the we want to make money league.
Be super fun league.
They added dances and everything back.
It's true,
but they are trying to do things because they're going to 18 games. Give the players stuff. Give the teams ways to make more money.
Foles is currently signed somewhere, and Jacksonville. I think you're thinking of Gardner Minshew. He is still currently on the roster.
He is, and they got Beathard there as well.
It's true. We got a nice little battle going on. Yeah, you got to be clean with all the white. Look, the all white sounds like in theory, like in my head, I can picture it. It looks and sounds incredible, but the execution of the white helmets is what is going to make or break those uniforms. Because
is it a gloss white?
Yeah, is it a gloss white? What does the logo look like? How does it pop and stand out with that white background?
Is it a red face mask?
Oh, dude, there's so many. You could screw that up though in so many ways.
Oh yeah,
right? You throw a black face mask on there. Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't like the black. No. It wouldn't look that bad.
I don't know.
They have red and black on the uniform.
I don't know.
An all-white helmet. That is actually an interesting thought.
It's an interesting thought. Execution is going to matter.
Especially with the red and black stripe down the middle.
Mm-hmm. Execution matters.
It does.
If you don't execute that properly, it'll be the worst uniform set in the world. You'll take our great throwbacks, and those helmets can...
Is that possible? Have you seen the Pittsburgh Steelers throwbacks? The Bumblebee look?
The Bumblebees are terrible.
Awful. It's just terrible. Some of those ugly...
The Jets blue too. That Jets blue throwback.
Yeah.
Oh, never.
I'm not a huge fan of the Detroit Lions throwback either. Got tired of seeing those on Thanksgiving with
I don't hate them.
Sanders. I hate them.
I don't hate them.
I wonder what Matt Burgos thinks about it. If he actually likes them or not.
He probably hates it.
Yeah.
Listen,
I don't know.
I understand. I can understand 100% hating it. It's not great. It's not great at all. We could be the Oregon Ducks of the NFL. We could be.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're not the Oregon Ducks that, as far as winning, let's make sure we win.
Accurate.
Because Oregon doesn't win championships.
Like Chip Kelly when he was first in Oregon.
Yeah.
Except, with the high success and actually winning a national championship, and not, what happened after he left Oregon. We don't want that. Not at all. And Luke, I'm glad that you like the idea of the all black helmet with the metallic red logo. Totally death. Death units.
It would make sense for the whole Empire part.
Oh, 100%.
The NFL should let us have 3. If we could have the all whites and the all blacks, I'm all in. Dude, I like those looks.
Literally could just do a Star Wars themed night. It's Empire night, right? All black unis. 50% off in the team store on black uniforms. And just Empire is ready to roll, ready to go. It's got my Galaxy 21 Ultra. It shoots in 8K.
Wow.
Galaxy 21 Ultra. I need to remember that.
Shout out to Tommy for the super chat.
Absolutely, Tommy.
Appreciate it.
Love you, man. Love you so much.
That sounds like a nice phone.
It is. It sounds like a glorious phone. It sounds like I need to upgrade now.
I just upgraded before, so I don't think I'm going to upgrade for a little while.
I got a little bit of time. My note's doing all right, though. It's hanging in there.
I have a note as well. So
I'll do the notes.
So I mean that was a good, interesting conversation though, because there's so many now uniform ideas and possibilities in the NFL. So I do want to, for selfish reasons, I want to see an Oilers throwback with the old Oilers helmet. I want that. I need that.
Good helmet.
I like it.
I love those baby blues, dude. Those baby blues are my favorite. Monica dying about Tommy in chat replay for a couple of the beat writers in the crossover episode, just bantering with people and Jets folks, and Tommy's good at that. He's really good at that.
He is.
Yeah, Tommy has some good ones. You can go back to some of our old live streams too when we had a couple of Rams fans come in here and Tommy just lambasting him into smithereens. Tommy's always a good time.
Caleb is talking about Caleb is talking about the old gold chrome. Have you seen the gold chrome helmets?
I have not seen
So
those.
they have been throwing this out there. Maybe we should wear those with the whites. They're like all gold with a gold chrome face mask.
All right, let's see this. 49ers gold chrome.
It is an interesting look. I don't know if it's too gold for me. I like a little contrast to my helmets. I wasn't even against the old pewter gray, front helmet
so
face
it's
mask.
Gold with the chrome face mask?
It's a gold chrome face mask. So it's gold face mask as well. It's like all gold. It's like the gold member of helmets. I need gold.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can't pull this thing up. Let's see if I can't pull this thing. Oh.
Yes, Gary, I agree. I like gold pants as well. That's why it needs to be kind of split up. There are sometimes I really do like the traditional red and gold uniform. So I think there needs to be some sort of a balance, and I think they should just let these guys wear 5 or 6 different uniforms during the season. I think it would be fun if they just really opened it up and let them wear a bunch of different looks. So we could get some throwbacks, and we should get some because they have such a rich history now in the NFL. So it'd be fun to watch and fun to look at.
Talking about these right here, Ant?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They kind of got like a gold face mask. I don't know what you think. Do you think it's too gold of a?
That's a lot of gold, man.
Yeah, I mean, what does everyone else think about the all gold face masks? I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm curious too. Let us know. I'll leave that up there for a little bit so you can get a good stare at it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of gold. It's a lot, man.
Yeah, it is.
I like my face mask to be a little bit more of an accent.
Yeah, I like a little contrasting color.
A little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. A lot of gold. All right, Chad, you've had enough, Phil. The gold's blinding my eyes. The gold's blinding my eyes.
Alex Faulkner, nothing needs to change. We already have the best jerseys. Only alternates we need are the red jersey with the white pants throwbacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
I like the all white, but the red with the white is good too. And is that what they're going to announce next Wednesday? Are they going to announce at the State of the Union State of the Franchise? Sorry. There's too many states.
There's a lot of things going on.
That we're going to have that uniform.
I mean, it could very well be the case.
Yeah.
It could very well be the case. All right, here listen folks. Chat, I found it. I found a white helmet that might work. I kind of like it. I want you guys to be able to see it and tell me what you think, because I think this could work. That did not pop up the way I wanted it to.
David Campbell is 100% right. Those black uniforms needed a gold outline around the numbers. It would have set them off, and it would have matched the helmet that they currently had that had, didn't have any, black in it really. So with the current helmet, the gold would have made a lot of sense.
100%.
So I agree with that.
100%. All right, look, here you go, chat. Let me know what you think. Ant, what do you think? What do you think of the white? White and the red. Maybe the red pop a little bit. Maybe red pop a little bit more.
It needs to be a brighter red. That's like a Stanford red.
I agree.
And I need, I don't want a cardinal. I want like a bright red if it's going to be a red face mask.
I agree with you there. They need to, people need to update these.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure somebody's coming with an edit. Megan keeps saying she said something at 7:16, whatever. I don't know what the question was that we missed.
Let me see.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
See if I can't figure it out, Megan.
I think a lot of people think the black unis with the black helmet would look good. The whole 49ers Empire thing, I think it would fit. So maybe maybe for the first time, the black uniforms make sense for me again.
They very well could.
I love the whites. I love the clean look.
Oh man, the whites, our white unis are just so silky smooth. Would look good with the all black unis, possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Tommy, thank you for the compliments on the haircut. Megan, you're going to have to clarify what you mean by 7:16 because I don't know what that's. I don't know.
I think that's the time she sent it.
That is not going to help me at all.
You would have to scroll up to 7:16 p.m.
It's not going to help me at all.
It doesn't show you?
No, it doesn't. I don't get that much. I don't get that. I don't know.
It shows me. I can go back and try.
Oh, wait. Toggle timestamp. Never mind. We're good. I found it.
Okay. So Alex is figuring this out. While that is happening, anyone else who has questions, go ahead and start throwing questions in there right now.
Megan had one from earlier.
Yeah.
Thinking about the Packers game, do you guys want to see Aaron Rodgers for a somewhat competitive game, or would you rather have Jordan Love and probably get an easy win? So week 3, if Rodgers isn't playing, would rather take down a Packers or a Rodgers-less Packers, or against Jordan Love, or face Aaron Rodgers? I guess is the question that she's asking.
To be honest with you, I don't care. I just want to win.
I just W.
So if I know it's going to be a better win or easier to win with Jordan Love,
which we all know that would be the case,
give Jordan Love. If it's Aaron Rodgers, he's going to get the smoke too. I mean, I really don't care. To be honest, I don't worry about what players are playing on the other team. I mean, I know the coaches and stuff do because they have to game plan and whatnot. But as far as me going as a fan, I don't feel sorry for them. They didn't feel sorry for us when they freaking put the whooping down on us on Thanksgiving week.
We had our entire
that Thursday night game.
Yeah,
they didn't feel sorry for us. Why should we feel sorry for them?
We never should. We never should feel sorry for the Packers.
No. They can eat it.
They can take another Randy Moss mooning. That's what they can take.
Yeah, they need it.
That was a despicable act by Randy Moss. Still one of the worst calls in the history of calls. A guy pretending to moon his arch rival. It's despicable. It's a despicable act on Chris Collins.
They are bringing up the all-white would make it look like Stanford.
Except our jerseys are way better than Stanford's whites.
Well, they're plain, yeah, and ours has black, but there is a little correlation there. I understand. So maybe the helmets, maybe we don't go white helmets.
Maybe.
I need to see a nice edit with it, and then I'll be able to decide.
What about black helmets with that white?
No.
You don't think so? Not even at all?
I'd rather stay gold.
I would rather stay gold too, personally.
Gold.
No one better be suggesting red helmets either. I don't want to see any red helmet suggestions in the chat. And you know what I forgot? You know what we didn't talk about? We didn't talk about Tom Brady's comments, bro.
Oh yeah.
Is this for real? Is this a Jimmy G shot? So for those of you that missed it, Tom Brady came out and was talking about teams that were courting him at the end. And how one of the finalist teams basically said that they were going to roll with the guy they had. And Tom Brady basically threw a nice little expletive out there and said, I can't believe they're going to go with that MFer. Right? And so he puts this out there, and Cohn within 3 seconds puts out a video saying, it's Jimmy. He's talking about Jimmy. And some people are like, it could be the Niners. It could be a lot of teams.
It actually could be a lot of teams.
So do you think that this was actually a Jimmy G shot, or are people just, again, creating drama? And if you had to pick a team, what team would it be?
I don't think it was Jimmy G.
I agree with you.
I think that Tom at least has respect for Jimmy Garoppolo. So I don't think he would do that out loud, in that type of setting. What he says privately amongst his friends is another story. The team I think it's about, I will be perfectly honest. Well, I think it's two teams.
Okay.
It's either Chicago, and he was talking about Trubisky.
Yes.
In that situation with Foles, or the Raiders. I think it could have been Derek Carr that he was saying, I can't believe you're keeping this guy over me. I think that those are the two options that made the most sense to me. Originally, when I heard it, I thought the first thing that's why I don't like instant reaction, because you really have to think about who he was talking to. And did he want to go to the 49ers? Yes. But there were other teams that were on the Tom Brady, look as well. And those were two of them. He even was they were even talking to him with the Saints. So there's a lot of possibilities. I just think the Raiders and Bears might make sense.
Monica, that makes sense too. Tennessee, Tannehill, Tennessee, maybe. I know that you and I had discussed, and we had talked about the possibility of maybe being the Chargers in San Diego, and Tyrod Taylor being the guy that he was talking about. In no way at all whatsoever is this Jimmy Garoppolo. And the people
You're just saying no way.
It's no way.
Okay.
There's no way it's Jimmy. And here's the reason why it's not Jimmy. For all the talking, it's going, it's Jimmy. Think about it, right? He forced the trade to get Jimmy out of New England. Yeah, because he didn't want to lose his job to Jimmy Garoppolo, because there were talks and concerns about him getting the job. Tom Brady may think he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo, and Tom Brady may very well have forced Jimmy out of New England and have him land in San Francisco the way it happened, right? Can we say with certainty? No. Does it look that way? Yes. He's not going to make that comment about Jimmy after having forced Jimmy out of San Francisco. If anything, right, it would have been, you don't want, if that comment was something along the lines of, you don't think I can beat that guy out or something to that effect, then you'd have a conversation, an argument to make that maybe he's talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. In my eyes, because of the situation and their past, right, of how things went down in New England, the way he phrased it, he's talking about a bum. Jimmy's not a bum. Coming off that 2019 season, he was not a bum.
When he made the comment, Jimmy had just went to the Super Bowl.
Correct. So yeah. Jimmy was not a bum, so there's no way in any world that it was Jimmy Garoppolo at that time.
I think it's funny that Tom Brady, like you said, he did force Jimmy Garoppolo out because Bill Belichick was ready to go to Jimmy Garoppolo. He was ready to move on from Tom Brady, and Tom forces him out. And I think it's funny because Bill Belichick does a very good job of making sure he gets Jimmy Garoppolo to the 49ers. Where does Tom Brady ultimately want to finish his career? With the 49ers. So that was Belichick's one last middle finger at Tom Brady, like, oh, you're going to leave me? That's okay.
Oh, you think you're better than me?
Yeah.
Well, you can go be better than me.
Hey, that's why he called.
Else.
He's like, second round pick. Okay, here you go. That's why it happened. 100%. He just got it done.
We got a little Butch crossover, my word.
It's just, I think it is funny in the long run that Tom has to not be able to go to the Niners.
It's funny in a very trolly sense.
It is.
It's
100% in a very Twitter way. It's very funny. Yeah.
Megan, thank you for
another super chat.
For the $1.99 super chat sticker. It's our first super chat sticker.
That's awesome.
Shout out, Megan. Yeah. Shout out for that. Appreciate it.
Now I can buy a large glass of cola. A liter of cola.
A whole liter of cola. My word almighty. Or in your dad's case, right? The largest glass of iced tea.
Good night, Megan. Or I'm sorry. Good night, Monica. I'm sorry.
Good night, Monica.
Have a good one.
Hashtag Cutback Crew. Indeed.
Yeah,
Indeed,
definitely.
Folks. Calm Before the Swarm said, how about all gold 49ers uniforms?
Have you seen these? They have put out this edit.
Did they put this out?
They put this edit out, all gold. You have a gold Niners jersey.
I do.
Alex, it looks like that, okay? Okay, let me just say this, and I'm gonna. This is gonna be very tasteful.
Oh,
I hate it.
Oh no!
I absolutely hate the all golds.
No, Ant.
I'm sorry,
Ant. It's really bad. And I'm a fan of that jersey. I really like that gold jersey that I have.
I think the all one color like that, when it's a gold or something, there needs to be a color to contrast off of. Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah,
you're not wrong. Let me see if I. Oh, is it gonna pop? It's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
The golds don't even match.
No, I mean
it's 3 different shades of gold.
It's not the best edit because you got the Reebok jersey there.
Oh yeah.
It's not the best edit. No. I just think it's too much gold.
It's a lot of gold.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot of gold. Look, I like the jersey, the one I have, which is very similar to that one. It's not stitched or anything like that. They haven't come out with a stitched version of that. Yeah. I've been looking for one because I really want one, but can't find it. No, it's a no. It's a no. It's a no.
JLE knows exactly what I'm thinking. He said, nope. Yeah.
It's a big no.
It's a big
Eugene agreed. That's definitely. I'm trying not to.
That's going to be a no for me, dog.
That's a no for me, dog. Yeah. Good old Randy. Good old Randy. Don't own a gold one. That's not gold. That's baby poop yellow. Kyle Neely, shout out. That might be your first comment that I've seen of yours in chat ever on this channel. Great one. You're 1 for 1 on chats.
He said what I was thinking, so I love it.
Baby poop
I absolutely love it because that's true.
It's not wrong, dude. It's not wrong. It's really, really bad. Listen, it was Patrick Willis, right? That was
Patrick Willis.
That was the best part of that whole picture, though. Was Patrick Willis
and the helmet. The helmet looked wonderful. The pants look wonderful. The jersey in the middle is the problem. Yeah. It was ugh.
There's a lot going on.
You got a big no from Caleb, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. Caleb, when are we getting our gift that we can open on stream?
Still not here.
You're slacking, bro. Yeah. What is happening? Caleb says he's going to send us something for us to open on stream, and we don't have it. What is this? What is this nonsense? What is it nonsense? Caleb, come on, man. You got to step it up. You got to step it up right now.
It's all good.
Yeah, shout out Kyle. That was a great comment. It was an incredible comment.
Really was.
Man. Woo. my goodness gracious me.
So what did you think about the comments that Trey Lance can't run? Like, did that make any sense?
Baffles me.
Yeah.
What the thought process is.
Or at least that he's not that good of a runner.
Look, he has an entire national championship game, right? In the college football playoffs for the Division I AA football.
Yeah.
In which he throws like 15 passes and rushes for like 200 something yards.
Mm-hmm.
Eh?
Well, and I thought the whole point was, right, to not have a great runner, but to have somebody that can move the pocket, run when needed, stretch plays.
That's not going to be his go-to trait, right? It's one of many tools in the toolbox.
He's not going to look like Lamar Jackson out there. He's not going to look like Cam Newton out there. He's going to look, more like a Russell Wilson. He's going to move the pocket and be able to throw, except he's 6'5" with a rocket arm. So
JLA asked, who said that, Ant?
Who said what?
Who said that about Trey Lance?
Oh, Chris Sims. Chris Sims said he doesn't think he's as good a runner as everyone else thinks.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not at all what you're looking for there. I mean, that just, oh my goodness gracious. I don't understand the line of thinking that gets you there.
I think it's who you're comparing him to.
Who is he comparing him to?
He's got to be comparing him to like Cam Newton and those type of runners.
But
Lamar Jackson.
They don't even have the same playing style.
No, but I think he's just saying those are who he equates as being great runners, so he's a average runner. Not even,
Trey Lance is like, David, see you later, sir. See you on the next one. Trey Lance is like this weird mixture of all of those guys in to one little set. He doesn't have the same amount of power that Cam Newton does, but he's got better footwork and mechanics as a thrower, right? He doesn't have the speed and the elusiveness of a Lamar Jackson, but I would say that he's a more accurate thrower of the football than Lamar was coming out of college.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It's close, right? He doesn't have the same sort of... He has the similar traits as an elusive guy like Russell Wilson and the same ability to read defenses, but he's got to prove it, and he's a little bit taller than Russell. I
mean, I'm not really as interested in him running the ball as I am him giving the look and having the fear of him running the ball. What I am looking for is him extending plays, moving the pocket, and getting the ball down the field and out on time. If that happens, that's all I'm looking for. I don't care if he's a great runner. If he's able to, when the pocket breaks down, instead of taking a sack or having to throw the ball out of bounds, he can pick up 5 or 6 yards, I'm great with it.
100%. 100%. We don't want a running quarterback. We want a quarterback who can run.
We don't need a running quarterback, but will we want one? Sure. If you could have the biggest, fastest, strongest dude that can go out there and run. I mean, if you could put Steve Young in this offense, you do it. You know what I mean? Why not? So in that regard, yes, but I don't think he needs to be a great runner for you to have a excellent quarterback.
And he can still get quicker. I mean,
he's still fast enough.
Well, he's fast enough, but this is the crazy part about Trey Lance is with his age, with what he is. I mean, technically, in theory, he's still got a year left to grow.
Yeah.
Based on science. He still has a full year left of actual maturity that he can actually physically still mature, get a little bit taller. All of those things can still develop with this guy. This guy is so young.
Well, and
young.
I've heard Jay Ellie kind of say this before, is he's like a Steve McNair. That's a good calling card of who he could be in the NFL. Maybe a more athletic Steve McNair.
That's fair.
And Steve McNair got his team literally a yard from a Super Bowl. So I'm okay with Trey Lance because I think that Kyle Shanahan is a better offensive play caller than anyone Fisher ever had on his staff. And I think that they could definitely win a Super Bowl with Trey Lance.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think we all think that they can win a Super Bowl with Trey Lance. I think everyone thinks we could win a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. I think there's a lot of fans who feel that way. There's also a lot of fans who don't feel that way. We understand. We get it. But he's already gotten us there. And in all honesty, he was a quarter away and the defense performing slightly better from having one already. So
yeah,
I think everyone feels that Trey Lance could be an upgrade over Jimmy. So at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to time. Time for Trey Lance and developing and doing all of that fun stuff. His 40 is faster than Trey Sermon's. And timed. We'll see. See if that's actually the case.
It probably is.
Maybe.
It probably is. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be. This dude's a freak athlete. I mean, he really is. He's plenty fast enough.
He very well is. Lou G, how you doing, sir? Good to see you.
And you see what Patrick Mahomes does, and he's, 4'7", 4'8"?
Accurate.
And so he can move the pocket. He can do the things, that freaking make people go crazy.
Stupid stuff.
Yeah, so this guy has all the capabilities to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, man, if he's anywhere close to, like the escapability of Mahomes.
Yeah.
I mean, if he can emulate anything that Steve Young did as a quarterback, we are in business, dude.
Did you see what Jay Ellie said about the total package?
Literally, after you said it.
He's going to rack him, with the total package, Lex Luger. I like it. I love it.
It's a great connection. Wonderful connection, sir. Both mid 4.5, 40-yard dashes. So he could be faster than him. And, and Monica agrees that he thinks Trey Sermon's got breakaway speed, and Peachy agrees with that as well. If you missed that.
About Sermon?
Yeah. If you missed our cutback chat with Nitty Gritty Niners, make sure after this you go check that out. We talked about this Jimmy and Trey battle. We talked about some of our favorite 49ers players coming into the season that we're looking forward to watch, and Trey Sermon was her rookie to watch, and she thinks he's going to be a huge addition for the 49ers.
I think so. I think he will be. I don't know about the whole shot potential from him.
No, the whole shot potential.
I think who was it that was saying it? Somebody said it already. One of our followers, and I'm missing who it was, said he was like Frank Gore. He was going to get ran down from behind. Great vision, great runner, but he's going to get caught. I think that's probably pretty close.
Hey, can I be honest? If he's anything like Frank Gore, I'm not going to care.
Agreed.
For a 100%. Second. Not going to care 100%. For a second. He's going to be one of the greatest running backs of all time if that's the case. We're good. We're totally good. Oh, man. Mahomes' font run, excellent, but gets it done. Yeah. He's got a little weird run.
He does.
Patty, he moves a little weird. Little bit. Not a bunch, but enough for me to be like, hey, that's a nice little, cute little motion you got there.
Calm before the swarms, making the Russell Wilson and Steve McNair had a baby. It would be Trey.
Yeah. We'll see. Could be.
Yeah. I just want to know where he got his height. Is grandma or grandpa tall? Because he's a lot taller than them.
Yeah, it's accurate.
But as far as the way that they play, I think there is some stuff there. Some characteristics and things that are the same.
Twitchy, quick, and has great natural feet. David, it's not a bad take there. I like that take.
Yeah, I think so. I like that Trey's improved so much in his footwork and his mechanics.
That's the big thing for me, man. You know how I felt about him. You know where I was at with Trey Lance before we got into pro days and everything else. I was not sold. I was not convinced. I didn't like the feet. I watched the pro day the first time, and I was so not happy with him that I watched.
We had a big
discussion on it because here's the thing: I wasn't wrong on the things I was saying, but I wasn't taking into account how much had changed.
Yeah,
I was seeing the feet being a little heavy at times. I was seeing the ball sail and was like, "Nope, hasn't fixed anything. The throwing motion's slightly more compact, but that's about it."
You Thanos'd it.
I literally Thanos'd it, except I didn't come on the platform and put it out there into the world because while I felt that way, I also knew that I didn't spend as much time watching it, so I didn't want to just go throw that out in the ether. I did say that he left some balls high and that his footwork still needs to be cleaned up.
Which is true.
Which was all true. And then I watched the second time, and then I watched the third time, and then I watched redshirt freshman year film and was like, hey, he doesn't even look like the same quarterback.
No, he doesn't.
You know what? Maybe I've been a little too hard. And then I watched it like a fourth time and was like, yeah, you know what? I kind of... Trey, I apologize. I apologize.
Lord, I apologize.
I apologize so much. I was a little hard on the man because he has, dude. He's come so far in such a short amount of time. And you can tell this man, all of COVID year for college football, not having any games, he went back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what? I don't have any. I'm not going to be able to put much on tape, but you know what I can do? Clean up everything that needs to be cleaned up. Give everyone no excuses as to look at me and be like, yeah, you know what, you played at a small school and your mechanics are off and you leave some balls in places you shouldn't leave them. I know I have the arm talent. Let's go clean up the little things because the little things are cleaned up. Maybe I can get drafted higher. And he was right.
All the cleaning up of the mechanics is going to create consistency. And now he's going to be able to make consistent plays, on time. And all that is, what he needed to do. And he's taking care of business. I seen Jag is talking about he needs to be able to learn progressions and making plays on third down.
I feel like he already has understanding of progressions.
I think he does the college of how he does it, but everything I've heard about Kyle Shanahan's system is Kyle has a different way of doing it, right? Even the shotgun, you have a different way of taking a snap. Kyle also has a different way of looking at reads. Kyle also likes to tell you who to read. So you're going to read from a different point of view. If you see this coverage, you're going to read this way. If you see this coverage, you're going to read this way. All these things have to be added in, and Trey has to learn them all. Do I think he has a head start on doing that? Yes. But he's definitely has to acclimate to the pro game, acclimate to the pre-snap reads, which are going to be more complex, and then address it accordingly.
Well, yeah, I think the point you hit on there that is the most important for 49ers fans to think about, and even if you're a fantasy football fan, you need to think about with this guy and with Trey Lance and this system, is that Kyle Shanahan is unlike most offensive coordinators. Most offensive coordinators, you have your reads or progressions, right? You have specific things that you're looking for. With Kyle Shanahan, you're looking at certain areas or certain people, right? You're trying to get a certain look so you can exploit a certain mismatch or matchup. And so with Kyle Shanahan's system, there's a play call, there's going to be a play design, and then there's going to be a specific guy that you're looking on based on the coverage, right? If it's cover 3, when we call this, you're looking here. If it's 2, it's this. If it's man, we're looking here. Mm-hmm. And he's going to try and call his plays around what he thinks he's seeing or what he thinks he's going to get. And there are going to be options to kill, and can, and stay and stuff and get in and out. And while that's important for Trey Lance to learn, I think the most important thing for him to learn right now necessarily isn't getting in and out of play calls, but knowing who he's supposed to be looking at and who he's supposed to be going to.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy has done that a lot, and we've talked about this some with Jimmy, is that he'll go into play action, turn his back to a defense, whip his head around and know exactly who to go to and where to put the ball.
Jimmy does better when his first read comes open.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be something that we'll see what happens with Trey. If the first read is there, he's going to take it every time, or if he's going to look for something bigger. Those are things that have to be, weighted on and seen. But Trey has a lot of capabilities. The one question I have about it is, can he consistently make the tight window throws over the middle? That has been the only question about him coming out of college, is that's not somewhere he was the most successful. That is where Jimmy Garoppolo excels, is in those small windows over the middle of the field. If Trey can do that, then it's going to be crazy. The other part of the thing that might seem little is the play action game. Trey Lance's fakes need to be as good as when he hands off the ball. We need to believe it, because a lot of times when Jimmy does it, he would sell it, and you would think it was a run, and you would get the linebackers to commit. You could get the ball behind them. That's how you would get Debo and Ayuk the ball in space, or George Kittle. When that doesn't happen, those linebackers are able to drop like Kendricks did in Minnesota and able to make an interception because Jimmy didn't run a fake. You saw it a lot with Mullins and Beathard. They just wouldn't even respect the fake a lot of times. And it's because they would just stick the ball out there. They wouldn't commit to the fake. So if Trey does that, that's a small little thing that they can work on, but getting that down would be huge for the 49ers offense.
100% would. 100% would. Does Josh watch a lot of old TV shows? I'm assuming he's referring to Josh Allen, because Antonio said Trey Lance is going to be Josh Allen without the growing pains.
Oh.
But
Gary, solid show.
Great job, Antonio. Great show. I think that's best case scenario for Trey Lance, is being Josh Allen without the growing pains.
Yeah.
That would be best case scenario for Trey Lance coming in early on. This is a good question here. Can Jimmy Garoppolo throw outside the numbers?
At what distance? I would preface it by saying that.
Great question. Great answer. Show it.
No.
On the board.
I think if it's an out pass, if it's something that's not a deep out, but it's an intermediate, he can make the throw. If you start getting 18 plus yards downfield and you're trying to run a corner route or something like that, he has to put air under the ball. He has to be able to step up into it. So if anyone's into his legs and he doesn't have room to throw, he's not going to get enough power into it, because he doesn't get a lot of lower half into the football anyways. So in those areas, he'll struggle and he'll float it. So somebody needs to be wide open. You saw it last year. Brian Ayuk gets wide open down the field. He floats one that takes him to the sideline. That's what Jimmy does. I mean, if it's down the field and he has room, he can definitely step into it and drive it down the field, but he does have to put more air into it. He's not a great downfield thrower. So outside the numbers from about 15 plus, he's not going to be as successful. Anything shorter than that, he'll get it done.
I like that right there. That's accurate indeed, and I hope that answered your question there. BECP. Backup. That's what I'm going to call you. It's a great point. That's the truth of the matter, right? With Jimmy is he has to have room to step into throws. He doesn't have that Pat Mahomes type of arm talent where he can just sling this thing, 1,000 yards with what seems like effortlessly. Jimmy can push the ball downfield, but Jimmy's had lower leg injuries since he first came into San Francisco, and a lot of Jimmy's great deep throws came very early on in San Francisco. When he first got here, before the lower body injuries started piling up, before the ankles, the ACLs, and everything else that's happened. And so for Jimmy, there are questions about whether or not the lower half is still there to be able to drive. I think he can still drive the ball, but he, like you said, he needs that room to step up and really get his lower half into it as much as he possibly can in order to push the ball and drive downfield, which means that, when you're rolling out of the pocket and things of that nature, unless you're able to get your feet set to drive that ball, it's going to be a lot harder.
Yeah.
So 15, 18 yards, probably safe. 25 plus, going to be a lot more difficult.
Well, and Kyle Neely is making the point, about Jimmy having the best percentage on passes, best completion percentage downfield.
Yes.
We 100% agree. We are not hating on Jimmy Garoppolo, but
or his ability to throw the ball downfield.
Look at those throws. Number one, most of them were down the middle of the field.
Correct.
Number two is when he had a nice pocket to be able to step up and get power from his hips and throw the ball. When he has that, it's great. That's why we said it's the outside the number throws, and times he's not able to actually step into the throw and make a great throw.
Correct.
We're not trying to slight Jimmy. We're just understanding what his capabilities are as a quarterback.
Well, here's the thing. As a fan base, too, you need to understand what the limitations are. Kyle Shanahan has to know what his limitations are.
Well, and that's why he doesn't run 18-yard comebacks like he ran in Atlanta. He just doesn't, because that's not what Jimmy does well. He takes advantage of what Jimmy does well.
Putting the ball in the middle of the field, tight windows.
Right, and
release.
Jimmy does that great. And then when he has his shots, like Kyle said, you take the shot down the field. Usually it's George Kittle acting like he's going to the corner, breaking back across the middle. Boom, big time play, right? You got the shot down the field to Deebo Samuel when they're on that hash and they can go down the middle, down the sideline.
Down the sideline from the same side of the field.
Emmanuel Sanders in New Orleans, down the middle of the field. A lot of the throws are that way. If you watch the throw he made to Pettis against the Rams on Halloween when he does the Thriller dance, he throws it to the sideline. He has room, and then because it's a sideline throw and it's outside the numbers, he sails it and he catches it right at the sideline. Luckily, he was wide open. That is just where Jimmy puts more air under. It's nothing against Jimmy. It's just what Jimmy's capabilities are, and that's fine.
And Jimmy knowing what his capabilities are and having to throw the ball slightly different in order to try and get the ball where he wants to put it.
Yes.
Right? It makes it a little bit more difficult. And that's not a shot at Jimmy. It's just understanding what his limitations are, what he can do well, what he doesn't do well, right? And then as a coach, putting him in those situations. Because like you said, he's not a guy who throws that 18, 20-yard comeback route, towards the sideline, far side of the field. He's not going to put that ball there and get it there quickly.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to fly out of his hands and get there in 2.5 seconds. The DB is going to have time to react and get back to the ball, and sometimes that's a very tight throw to make, especially if the DB is all over it.
Yeah.
And reading it. You're not going to have a lot of space.
Well, when Jimmy has time to step into his throws over the middle, he can out-throw receivers.
Like Emmanuel Sanders in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So, yes, he has
You had to bring it up.
Because I don't want anyone to think that we're like a Jimmy hater. We're just Jimmy realists. We like what Jimmy does in certain situations, and he's a winner. And he can win over the middle, and he has a quick release, and he can operate the offense at a high click. We love all of that. It's just we understand the things that he doesn't do well, and then we understand what Trey Lance ultimately will do well. But Trey Lance is not the guy that will win over the middle. They have to develop that part of the game. So Jimmy has a huge advantage there.
Well, it's trade-offs right now, right? There's just trade-offs between the two.
It's hard. Well, when you get a guy that can do it all, you get a Super Bowl caliber quarterback like Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. Those are guys that can do it all. And if Trey Lance develops into that, then we'll be talking about that for years to come.
Hey, Kyle, Vish. We would love to have Vish on the show. Just saying. We'd absolutely love to have Vish on the show.
Oh, I did? Oh, okay, I see that now.
And have a wonderful cutback chat with Vish about the 49ers.
But yeah, I get where Kyle's coming from because we actually made this point on one of our videos about the deep throws with Jimmy. I think you were talking about it, because we like to see Jimmy take more shots.
Just a few.
But we understand it has to be at the right times, and Kyle will scheme it up at the right time.
Correct. That's the big thing, and that's the benefit that Trey Lance has and Jimmy has both. Right? This is a guy who understands what limitations are. He knows how to notice them, recognize them, and then how to build the system around those limitations and play to your strengths and give you opportunities to take shots and take chances to be successful. I mean, we all know that Matt Ryan has limitations, and Matt Ryan was an MVP.
Yeah.
And you can credit Kyle Shanahan for that every day of the week.
Well, I think almost all quarterbacks have limitations.
Oh,
there's only few that completely transcend the game.
Yes.
And you just, it's hard to get one of those guys. And when you get one of those guys...
It is?
Yeah, believe it or not.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked by that.
And
I thought they were just everywhere.
When you do get one, But this is something, right, New Orleans has been successful with Drew Brees. He hasn't been able to go down the field for a while.
It's been a long
Their
while.
offense is going to look tremendously different with Jameis Winston.
True. This is why there are some people saying that Jameis is going to be the breakout, comeback player of the year this year in 2021. There's an argument to be made that it's always with Jameis Winston, is the turnover factory off or is it on?
Yeah.
The turnover factory is on.
Yeah.
He's gonna Josh Rosen it up, except make better. He doesn't do it to the extent that Josh Rosen does.
Yeah.
Like, he'll have just as many good plays as he does bad plays. Like, Jameis Winston is like the constant neutrality, like the net neutrality guy. Like, he'll do like three things great, and you're like, man, Jameis is. Well, he's still yeah, he's still playing, but never mind. It's an even day for Jameis.
I think the last year Bruce Arians told him just to air it out, take chances, try to win football games, and he did what he was supposed to do. And I think that
he got punished for it.
He got punished for it.
He did.
I mean, he really did. And being with Sean Payton, he's going to clean up the turnovers.
I agree.
He's going to end up having a good year this year.
I agree.
Yeah,
Gary, that is a great question. When is merch day, Ant?
Merch day hopefully will be announced next week. I am waiting on one more thing. So once that thing is taken care of, then we will have a firm announcement on merch day.
Gary, did you really think that we were just going to just lay it all out there, like all at once? You were going to get a Friday live stream with super chats and
Thursday
the merch stuff. Thursday, excuse me. My apologies. We normally do Fridays, but someone is going to a certain place in LA this weekend, and we had to move it a day early. Look, we're almost there. We're close.
Yeah, we are.
Merch day is coming.
I'm literally waiting on one thing.
It's true. Just one thing.
I'm trying to ensure that everything is perfect. I don't want anyone getting products that aren't up to snuff. It's not what I'm about.
Absolutely not. We don't want up to snuff.
Not now, not ever.
Ever. Not even if there's a fire. Not even if there's a fire. So no, we're hoping that's going to be turned around quick. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We're both excited though.
Oh, we are. I can't wait to get the launch going. And then I've been working on a new design because of Caleb. Caleb gave me an idea for a design.
Shout out, Caleb.
I'm working on that.
Shout out, Caleb.
When it goes live, it's going to be fun.
Gary, we appreciate that. We really do. Wish Jimmy could just buy a little time in the pocket. It's painful to watch him try. Maybe if the Pass Pro is just a second or two better this year, it'll help. Yeah.
Yes, it is, because sometimes you'll see Jimmy feel something that's not there. I think last year especially he got happy feet. He really did. Once he took some shots, he got happy feet. And once you start doing that as a quarterback, you're in a lot of trouble because you need to keep your eyes down the field. But Jimmy did it a lot better than Mullins. I mean, Mullins, if you watch Mullins, now Beathard is rock solid. He don't look at pressure. He takes hits.
Yeah.
Mullins will look around, and that's when he gets himself into trouble. I understand that he was getting rocked.
He was.
But yes, that offensive line being improved will help Jimmy G. If Jimmy G gets 4 seconds per play, be a lot more successful. But really where they're going to be the most successful is if Kyle Shanahan designs plays to get the ball out of Jimmy Garoppolo's hands in 2 seconds or less.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. That and Jimmy's strength is the quick release, which plays into that as well. Kyle, I agree. Trey could end up being that very well. And you know what else who would agree with you on that? Is Tyler Menting. So if you missed that episode, that cutback chat with Tyler Menting, that is a wonderful, fantastic episode. Tyler Menting runs Football Unlocked channel on YouTube. He was the one that was all over the Niners going up for Trey Lance when they made the move up to 3, and everyone thought it was McCorkle or Justin Fields, or on this channel, Zach Wilson, right? Everyone had their opinions. Like the day after they made the trade, he came out and stepped out on the ledge and basically said to everybody in the world, it's Trey Lance.
Yeah, he did.
And ended up being 100% right. So go take a look at that channel and take a look at that video because it's a wonderful episode.
There is absolutely nothing about what Trey Lance is doing right now that shouldn't absolutely excite 49ers.
Oh, it should, 100%.
49er fans should be excited. That's why I understand when 49ers Twitter goes crazy that Trey Lance should start right now. I understand it. Do I think it goes too far sometimes? Absolutely. But I get it because he's exciting, and just the thought process of the things he's going to be able to do in this offense. It's the coaching side of me that always brings me back to, but we need to develop him so that way when he's out there, he can be the best that he can be, and he can really take his game to the level that we want it to, because we want him to be Joe Montana, Steve Young, Aaron Rodgers, these kind of players, and that all those guys had time to develop, and they were able to do it. We need to give Trey time to develop, and if he happens to win the job, great, but let's be patient with this guy.
Let the young man, let him stew a little bit. Let him get some flavor and baste a little bit in this offense and with everybody else. You mean to tell me that 49ers Twitter sometimes just needs to slow it down, slow it?
Sometimes.
Slow it down.
Slow it down.
Slow it. Slow it down. And then they freaking smash into the back of whoever else is going on.
It happens.
It does happen. They need to not do that.
Kyle Neely's been on him since January. I like it.
I like it as well. With the upcoming season, who do you think will be the X factor for the Niners that nobody is expecting? Well, it's a good thing we put out a video on that, didn't we?
Yeah. So what did he say with the upcoming season?
He wants to know who the X factor is for the Niners and that nobody is expecting.
Oh, that no one's expecting.
So that's
a little bit of a twist.
That's a twist because we did an X factor video on guys that we think.
Yeah.
And an X factor that no one is expecting. On offense, Ant.
You got someone? Or?
I got someone.
Okay.
I got someone that no one would be expecting.
No one's expecting? I want to hear it.
Kyle Juszczyk.
No one's expecting Kyle Juszczyk?
In a scoring big play role.
Okay. So he's going to have big plays.
Goal line situations.
Okay.
We've been asking and praying for this, right? We've been talking about this a lot. They need to find more ways to get Juice involved. Maybe this is the year that it finally happens. Maybe this is the year that Kyle Shanahan puts all the pieces together. They're able to get Trey Lance on the field in goal line situations and packages. And now that he's got this quarterback on the field with Trey Sermon in the backfield, it could be a pistol look. It could be under center. Some sort of play action look. It looks like a boot where Trey Lance is going out in space. And you can do creative, very unique things with Kyle Juszczyk to free him up in the goal line, and he becomes the goal line killer. Kind of like Mike Allstott back in the day with Tampa Bay. When Mike Allstott, when they got into the red zone, was just an absolute fantasy monster. If you drafted Mike Allstott and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got into the red zone, you were basically sitting there going, I started him today. He's scoring 3 touchdowns because every time they got within a yard of the goal line, they just gave the ball to Allstott in some way, shape, or form, and he would bully his way into the end zone. Maybe that's what we're going to see this year. Obviously, maybe not the bully so much with Kyle Juszczyk, but in the pass game, who knows?
I know someone, I don't know if they'll be expecting it, but somebody that not a lot of 49er fans expect to have a big season is, I think, Mike McGlinchey. Mm-hmm. I think McGlinchey's going to have a huge year. And I think that with the additions of Alex Mack and the continued camaraderie of the guys that they have, that this guy's going to take another step forward in his pass blocking. With the run game going so good and the play action pass going so good, his pass blocking is going to improve, that he is going to come really close, if not make the Pro Bowl this year. I'm going out on that ledge, and I'm going to stand there. And I think he could have a bounce-back year, and I think he could be a real X factor on the offensive line.
I like that, Ant. I like that a lot. On defense, Kyle Neely came up with, that's a nice one, Arden Key.
Yeah.
If he can get on the field and develop the things he needs to, he could have an impact and be an X factor. But I'm going to go with a different D lineman. I'm going to go with Zach Kerr.
I knew you were going with Zach Kerr.
The more film I watch of Zach Kerr,
it's fun.
The more excited I am about what this guy could bring to the table.
Yeah.
I mean, last year when DJ Jones, whenever DJ Jones wasn't on the field, right? And when DJ Jones is hurt, there's a drop-off. It's a noticeable drop-off. Newsflash, folks. There ain't going to be no drop-off this year if DJ Jones isn't on the field. Mm-hmm. Zach Kerr is the real freaking deal.
He's good.
He's a real freaking deal.
He's good. And they got Maurice Hurst, too.
That's true.
I mean, that front, that defensive line, that front is going to be crazy. You are dead on about that. As far as X Factor that no one's expecting, I don't know if people are expecting it or not, but I think it's going to be Ebukam. I'm going on that limb. I think he's going to have 9 to 11 sacks this season. That's how much belief I have in what he could be under Chris Kasarik. So that's who I'm going with. I'm going with him to just break out.
I agree with you. Tommy, what do you mean you guys still on? What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
We're always on.
Come on, Tommy.
Longer periods of time at times.
Yeah.
Hey, we've been getting better about the live streams and making them longer for you guys. We heard you. We heard you talking. Saying, oh, we want a longer content. Well, guess what? You got all the long-form content now. Yeah. All of it. You're welcome.
David Monty, let's go Juice. I see Calm Before the Swarm, Jalen Hurd. Absolutely. I couldn't pick him as the X Factor because everyone that watches this channel knows I think Jalen Hurd is an X Factor, and I've doubled and tripled down on that he's going to be healthy and play this year. That's why I didn't go with him, because it was somebody that no one was expecting, and for me, I'm completely expecting it.
Agreed. Kevin White, a long shot pick. That is a long shot pick.
I do like that, though.
I like it, too. Right? It's for him, it's situation. That Chicago situation wasn't the greatest when he was there. No. The places he's been, and it just hasn't been. No. This is a really good situation. If he's healthy,
yeah,
maybe he could break out and do something. But I tell you what, watching this film, I got questions.
Well, when the receiver breakdown film comes out, everyone can see exactly what we're thinking on Kevin White. Yeah. We break down every receiver that is on the roster. And
it's a lot of them. I don't know if you guys knew this.
There is a lot, but the skill set, the things that he can do at his size, you would think he could do something. They've definitely want somebody big, right? Jalen Hurd, 6'5". What's his name? Juwan Jennings, 6'3", and then Kevin White, 6'5". So they definitely have a need for a big receiver.
True.
So one of these guys makes it, maybe two of them make it.
Who knows? Terrell Owens.
What? Just because he beat the little high school or college kid in the video? Come on, man.
I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you have a Niners fan who's like, how come, T.O. says he wants to play. We could bring him back, right? Let him retire in San Francisco. Yeah. I actually find this very funny. I've been hearing a lot of things. Richard Sherman video went up. It did really well on our channel. Did really well on Facebook in terms of just interaction. A lot of people commenting. Again, fan base 50-50 split.
Yeah.
On that. Kyle, you were not wrong again. two for two now on great comments for the day. 50-50 split again. A lot of people yes, a lot of people no. Bring him back as a coach, all this stuff. What I have found very funny and ironic is the same people who are clamoring to bring back Frank Gore are also the same people who think Sherman is washed up and shouldn't bring him back anymore. Got to pick a lane. Faithful, you have to pick a lane. If Richard Sherman is washed up, old, and can't do it anymore, then you cannot make the same argument for Frank Gore. You cannot make you can't make the inverse argument for Frank Gore, that Frank Gore still has plenty in the tank and can do a lot for this team. There is a noticeable, huge drop-off between Frank Gore,
I agree with that,
as an elite running back, and Frank Gore now, and Richard Sherman from 2019 to now. The drop-off is not even close to the same.
No, it's not. And that's why I'm not even going to really touch that a whole lot. I'm just going to say you're accurate because Richard Sherman can still play at a good level. He's not the elite player he was, but he can still play at a good level and help a team. I seen David Monty asking about D Ford. If D Ford is healthy, 100% he's an X factor. That's why I don't even think it's a under the radar guy. I think if he's out there playing, he's an X factor because
even if it's 20 snaps,
first step is fantastic.
If it's 20 snaps and he's 100%, then those 20 snaps are a dangerous 20 snaps for your opponent because those are 20 snaps in which it's probably crucial passing situations in which D Ford is going to be at his best and his peak. And D Ford at his best and his peak for 20 snaps a game is better than a lot of people playing, 75% of snaps.
Yeah. Luke Luna says Sanu should get more opportunity. I think he will. He's going to get his opportunity.
Eugene Boxley with a bomb there. Bernie Fowler going to surprise a lot of people and make the roster.
Benny Fowler.
I said Bernie. Benny Fowler.
I like it. I mean, put it out there. We watched some film on him. We have our thoughts on him.
He does fill that Kendrick Bourne-esque role in his offense. The question is can he do it better than Kendrick Bourne did?
Can he do it better than Travis Benjamin?
Also that too.
Or Mohamed Sanu. I don't know.
Caleb, he cannot take Sherman's spot. Stop it.
And by the way, Caleb, it is too sweet. By the way, yeah. It is. And as far as what Kyle was saying about Frank Gore, I want him to retire a 49er too.
100%.
A one-day contract where he could come back and sign and be a 49er. I'm all for.
Put him in the Ring of Honor.
He's just not good enough at this point in his career to make this roster.
He's not this specific roster. Yes. Does James make the 53-man roster?
Who is it?
Richie James.
That is a good question.
That is.
I think he's a fringe guy. I think he is. With him, it's going to come down to if he makes it, maybe a Travis Benjamin doesn't make it, or Juwan Jennings. So I think the 49ers keep 6. I think Richie James is right on the edge of making the team.
Richie James has the opportunity. I think he has a head up too because he's not a wide receiver that's in Kyle Shanahan's doghouse.
Yeah.
And when you're in Kyle Shanahan's doghouse, it's hard to get out of Kyle Shanahan's doghouse. He's actually a guy that Kyle Shanahan thinks has a lot of potential. But we also know one thing about Kyle Shanahan. If you don't ever capitalize on that potential, at some point you're going to end up in the doghouse. Now, Richie James had a really great game against Green Bay last year.
Yeah.
That's it, though. He's got to put some more performances like that together. And that's going to be really hard to do in the preseason with as many wide receivers as Kyle said, right? With 27 wide receivers it's not actually 27.
Yeah.
But with as many wide receivers as there are in that wide receiver room, the touches are going to be scarce in preseason, which means you're going to have to show out when the opportunity comes.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to make it last year, and then we had some injuries at the wide receiver position, and he made it. He still gets nicked up. He's nicked up right now, so he has to stay healthy. There's no guarantee Richie James is going to be healthy starting week 1. So this might be a moot point, but I think it's going to be close if he makes this roster because he hasn't developed, I think, the way that they were hoping he's developed. And if somebody else is going to take that kick return, punt return role, like if Brandon Ayuk's going to do it, or if Ambry Thomas is going to do it, or if Travis Benjamin's going to do it, if any one of those things happen, then Richie James is expendable.
JLA, we did put out a way too early 53-man roster projection.
Yeah, we did.
We did. We're going to have an actual one when we get closer.
Yeah, once we get right before training camp, we will put out a 53-man projection, and then right before training camp breaks, we will put out our final 53.
Our Project 53?
Yeah, our Project 53, where we will build the 53-man roster and see how close we can get
based on our
being spot on.
Yeah. We were pretty close last year.
We did pretty good. Me, you, and the other guy put on, me and the host, we all put out our own, but...
That's true.
Yeah.
Kyle, I don't think you miscounted, man. It's just hard. There's so many of them, you start counting on fingers, things get confused, lines get crossed. It's just difficult, man. No worries. Megan, great question. Rookie of the year this year in the league and for the 49ers. League is tough.
I think if I was going to be a betting man for the 49ers, I would probably go with Aaron Banks because I think he's going to have the most opportunity to play.
Okay.
So I would think he would be the rookie of the year for the 49ers. As far as for the league, I think it's going to be,
it's tough, man.
Yeah. If I had to be a betting man, I think I would put it on Jamar Chase.
Because I like that.
Because they're going to go up there and they're going to chuck it up there, and he's going to have opportunities to catch the ball. Still don't have the greatest defense, so they're going to have to score a lot of points. So I think I would go with him.
Man, Jamar Chase is a good one. It's a good one. I wasn't thinking about it. Rookie of the year. Man, that's tough. It really is. It's one of those things where it's like there's a lot of good options and a lot of good people who could do it. Like if things pan out in Miami, I could see Waddle. I could see Waddle doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I could see him being the guy as well. And there's a lot of possibilities there. A lot of good things that could happen.
People are right, too. I did forget Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon's going to have a lot of opportunities.
Trey Sermon is going to be my 49ers pick.
Yeah.
Trey Sermon is my guy who I think is going to be...
And I'll still go with Banks.
Well, and that's fair because he very well could start day one. And Trey Sermon may not start day one, but I think Trey Sermon has just as good of an opportunity to get touches or looks at least.
And it could 100% be Trey Sermon, by the way. I think it's going to be Banks because I have a lot of value on offensive line.
I like that a lot. But for Rookie of the Year in the league... I'll stick with a guy that I was in love with before the draft, and I'll say Zach Wilson.
Okay.
I think Zach Wilson has the opportunity.
I just think their team's going to stink. That's why I don't think.
I personally think so too, but I think their running back situation is better. The O-line's a little bit better. Their wide receiving core is what it is. They do have some options there. I think
they've improved the wide receivers. Yeah.
I think Jameis and Crowder, them getting that reworked is a big deal.
Yeah.
I think he's going to help Zach Wilson a lot, and I don't think they have as many holes as Jacksonville, potentially. Jacksonville had a really great offseason. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Jacksonville's draft was fantastic.
It was phenomenal. By the way, there are some people who have their draft as average.
That's good. That's usually when it works out.
I know.
But usually when the pundits say it was a bad draft, it ends up being fantastic.
A really good draft, yeah.
Yeah. And Urban Meyer pretty much just drafted a lot of players that I would have drafted, so that's why I liked it.
Urban Meyer's a smart cat, bro. I've been saying this for years. He's a pretty good guy. River Craycraft, punt return, kick return.
Yeah, if you don't want to get any return yards.
You want to make sure you catch the ball.
It's Trent Taylor all over again. If you want to get 5 yards, after he catches it, he'll secure it, but...
It's true.
River Craycraft will be a shocker to make this roster.
I would be surprised. Yeah. I would be surprised. Eugene, I don't know if I can go there with you. I don't know if I can get there. I tried. As Ant said in one of our episodes, I tried to come around. I tried to do it. I just can't. Can't do it.
Yeah, it's true.
Can't get myself
I did.
there.
I tried to come around on one of your thoughts, and I just couldn't do it.
Every once in a while, I get close. Plus, they have Tebow. Kyle. You might be new to this channel, man. I'm a huge Tebow fan.
I did see David Campbell says, does Warner get extended before the season starts?
Yeah.
I think it's right around George Kittle time last year when he gets extended, right when training camp's about to start. Day one, boom.
Notice here, there's a lot of channels who've been making a big deal out of this. A lot of talking heads and a lot of 49ers channels who are making a big deal of, when are they going to do this? Notice that there's no concern here.
Yeah.
From either person in this room. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And in all honesty, as long as Fred Warner's not unhappy with contract talks and negotiations and the fact that he doesn't have his contract yet, I'm fine. Until Fred Warner is pissed off, I have nothing to fear or worry about. There's obviously some sort of healthy dialogue going on, and they'll get it figured out and fixed when it's time.
Well, what the 49ers have proven is that you can trust them that they're going to get things done. I mean, look at what they've done. They've proven this every year. They haven't had holdouts. They get guys deals done. They move them before they have to. It always works out. So they've definitely built a lot of trust with the players, and that's what you're seeing with these guys.
True. Megan does make a great point there, Kyle. You don't want to get me started on Tebow. It's Tebow time all the time in the Sasania household. All the time. My favorite Florida Gators quarterback as a Florida Gator fan. It's all good. It's all good. Same about Wayne Gallman from Jag.
What part about him?
I don't know.
What context, Jag? I want to know what you're talking about because I do have some thoughts on Wayne Gallman always.
Brad had a question a few minutes
Oh,
back
it was about looking at the trick play. I did not have a chance to see that.
I saw the trick play and I was going to pull it.
Uh-huh.
But then, the week happened and stuff got busy and I didn't have time to pull it, so I apologize, sir. I apologize.
So you pulled an Aldous Snow.
I did.
I was going to, and then I just carried on living my life.
Carried on living my life,
Yeah.
Was that terrible British accent supposed to be me?
Unfortunately, yes.
They're just trying to sell papers. Very well could be.
Oh, yeah, and clicks.
I mean, you hear Grant talk about it all the time, right? He's got to get himself another car and a fourth house and,
Yeah, hey.
Disrupt the balance in 49ers.
It's the hustle. It's the hustle, I guess.
Spout nonsense?
I just can't watch the stuff anymore.
Hey, teach their own.
Frank Gore.
Oh.
I think maybe he's talking about our correlation between Sermon and
maybe, or he's talking about the fact that Gore ran for 653 yards last year and on 187 attempts.
Oh.
So similar numbers, maybe.
Similar numbers to Gallman. Okay.
Possibly.
I get it.
Yeah.
I guess when I looked at Gallman running, I just thought that the legs are fresher and he looks better. He's younger.
He also had bigger carries last year.
Yeah.
He had bigger runs than Frank Gore had.
But if that's the correlation, then he's not wrong. I guess the eye test is like I've told you this before. I'm not a huge look at all the stats and that determines. I'm an eye test guy. You know it. That's why I like watching. I watch football for a certain reason. I watch a guy that even the way he runs, he leans, the way he reads his vision. Those things stick out to me compared to everything else. So, you've had running backs you like, and I tell you, I think they're going to stink because I don't like the way they run, and it has nothing to do with their stats. Yeah,
and you didn't get drafted.
No, I didn't like him.
No.
He just didn't look good to me. He didn't pass the eye test, and then the guy I did like went higher.
Yep.
That's what happens. Unfortunately, sometimes that happens. Sometimes I'm wrong. I am, but
it's great when he's wrong. Actually,
I like being right, so I try to pay attention.
He wants to be right all the time.
Yeah.
Which late round pick do you think will become a superstar? A superstar for the 49ers? Probably Hufanga. I think Hufanga's got the best opportunity just because of the way they can utilize him in the defense, and if he can develop as a coverage guy, could be a big piece on the defense.
Probably Elijah Mitchell.
Need to.
Yeah. I don't think Jalen Moore's going to be a slouch either. So
no,
any of those fifth round picks are good possibilities.
Now, in terms of the league and guys who got drafted 7th round picks or close to that, a guy who went really late that we like, Colin Granson.
He didn't go that late.
Oh, didn't he go like the
fourth round, I think?
We had him at a 4th round grade.
Yeah.
Went in the 4th round.
And then
everyone else had him in a 7th.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a good pick.
I felt really good about that one. When he went in the 4th round, I was like, hey, Aunt, 7th round.
Yeah.
Yeah, woo, 7th round. Grandpa Gore showing the young guys how it's done. He does at times. He does at times. And he can still pick up blitzes. Can Sherman? We're going to find out, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
I'm going to find out real quick. He's going to get a lot of run in the preseason.
Yeah. And those guys are, right now a little bit cheaper than Frank, too, those two rookies.
Also true.
But I love Frank. And it's hard to say this. I think the last couple years I would have loved to have him on the team, but just not this year.
This group is
I just see the writing on the wall.
And the group's too deep. Plus, once you get a guy like Jeff Wilson back, Frank Gore has literally no role in this offense.
Yeah.
Because once Jeff Wilson's back, you don't need him for short down yardage anymore. You don't need him for blitz puck up, and he's not a better route runner. So
Jay Ellie says the cornerback. So he's talking about Ambry Thomas, Diameter Lenore. Lenore would be a late round guy, so maybe.
Possibly.
I just don't think it'll be this year. It could be next year. But I don't know about superstar, but I think he'll be solid. He'll be good. I don't
think this is one of those years. The only guy that I think has the potential to blow up like that offensively or blow up and kind of just like take everyone by surprise might be Jalen Moore. I think Hufanga. I like Hufanga a lot.
You don't? Oh, you mean the late round guy?
Yeah, late round guy. I think Jalen Moore has the potential, and it's because of the pedigree.
Okay.
The fact that he's a basketball guy for a long time and made the transition to football late. He's got a lot of untapped athletic potential that could end up making him just a freak at the tackle spot.
Well, if Luigi is correct, then he might be another guard. They might have him and Banks at guard next year.
True.
And that could be your starting. If they got their starting interior line in this draft, that's going to be set up for the future. That could end up being huge. They haven't done this since they got Upati and I'm going blank on the tackle.
Davis.
Yeah, Davis. Anthony Davis. Thank you.
Davis.
Thank you. Thank you for the save.
RM. He can't take shekels. Number one, that's not a legitimate currency. And number two, there's a vet minimum for a reason.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to take the vet minimum. He can't take any less than that.
Yeah, the 49ers.
And that's still more expensive than the rookies we drafted.
It is. Yeah, a lot, actually.
And all of that money is Boone was the other guard.
Well, Boone was a guard. I meant just in the draft.
He meant the other tackle. I meant
the two offensive linemen that they drafted. I just meant two offensive linemen that started from draft picks. That's mainly what I was talking about.
It's too sweet, William.
Yeah.
It's just too sweet. Man, I'll tell you what. We had a lot of great stuff tonight. Right?
Yeah, we did.
A lot of great things we talked about. Chat was live as all can be. Shout out again to all of the people who super chatted tonight. All of you. J. Ellie, Eugene. Oh, man, I'm going to blank.
Megan.
Tommy, Megan. Man, I know we're forgetting somebody.
Luke
as well. All of you. Everyone who donated tonight in the super chat, we really, really appreciate it. Again, it's an option for you guys. It helps the channel out tremendously. It gives us that little extra boost and a little thank you for the things we're doing and putting out. We appreciate all of you. We're going to keep doing this regardless.
Yeah.
We love the interaction. We love the conversation. You guys have been absolutely incredible from start to finish. Chat is always live. They're always on top of it. They're always killing it. Great questions, great comments, right? Great feedback. Megan wanting me to change scenes for weird reasons. Who knows? No, it was a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, and everyone jumping in and just leaving comments the entire time and staying for almost 2 hours, over 2 hours, with us. Some people were here from the beginning till the end. Gary was here before we ever even went on and stayed the whole time. So we really appreciate it. We appreciate the interaction. There is nothing better than having 49ers talk with the Cutback crew. It is fantastic. I love live streams for that reason. It's so great. The interaction is what we're here for. The conversation is what we're here for. Let's have a lot of conversation over the next few weeks until we get to training camp, and then let's get into this. This is where the meat and potatoes comes in, and it's a lot of fun. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Merch is coming, David. Don't you worry one bit. You're asking for Rosen.
Rosen?
They're asking for Rosen.
Tonight?
They want Rosen tonight. You don't get Rosen tonight because Rosen is actually going to get discussed in an upcoming episode for the first time in 49ers Cutback history. That's right. The first time ever, Josh Rosen is going to get some actual airtime on this channel. So if you want to hear the Josh Rosen breakdown, you want to see it with your eyeballs that are on your face, then you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell as well. That way you're notified as soon as our quarterback discussion room video goes up. Because once it goes up, it's never coming down. And Josh Rosen will forever have been covered on the 49ers Cutback.
Yeah, and jump in on the live chat when it goes. It's fun.
Absolutely.
We'll jump in there with you, and we'll have a lot of fun with it, and it's exciting. And that's what it's about. It's really about interacting with people and having fun, and that's what it's about. It's time for 49ers football, almost.
So close.
Yeah.
So close, and I can't wait for it to get here. David, you're the greatest. Cutback crew, you're the greatest. God bless all you and your families too, Jag. Kyle Neely, great comments tonight, dude. 2 for 2 on great comments.
Yeah.
This guy is red hot in the comment section. Give him some love as well.
But you know what? Josh Rosen, we don't have time for you. We're out of time. So you know what? We'll catch you on the next one. Actually, and one of the next ones, we actually will get you.
We will.
But you know what time it is? Let's chalk another one up.
Chalk another one for the bad guys. See y'all later.
From the alley-oops at Keysar to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way. From off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers.